And welcome back to... I completely shut... I was still thinking about something else. Sorry, mate. Never happened before.
Keep that in.
No.
We'll keep that in, definitely.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Media Studios, joined by my producer, Chris Clark, joined by my co-host, AJ, all the way from Norway. AJ, I love the medal, mate.
I got so many complaints about my gold chain last episode,
No.
so I thought I stole Rose's heart, Mr. Olympia. And I always wanted a Mr. Olympia. What's it called? How do you call it?
Medal?
And now I finally have it. So
is that real chocolate?
yeah, great to be back. Great to be back. Great episode, our last episode, by the way.
Yes, again, we went with a slightly longer format because when we started it, our first couple of episodes, we weren't sure how the format was going to work out. It was over 3 hours. Few people not complained, but you got to build the audience first. So we cut it back to 2 hours, and then we made our comeback episode 9, and we had 4 guests on.
Can you? Let's go back to. I don't want to say the time, but you go back, and you're like 18.
Oh wow, that's a while.
And all of a sudden, Flex Wheeler's on TV. And then all of a sudden, King Kamal is on TV.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Dennis James is on TV. And you're going to complain that it's 3 hours and it's free?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
and
free.
You complain?
I used to have to travel an hour on the bus to go to Cardiff and go to the Weeder shop and buy the Olympia videos and the Mitsuru Okabe Battle for Olympia videos.
I love that. The Japanese man.
He was great.
He was fantastic when he showed up.
No, those videos were iconic because they were, he used to go to all the competitors before the Olympia and he'd travel around and those were like the only glimpse we'd really get of our heroes. And it was them seeing them in prep, training, eating, doing all the things they needed to do. They were fantastic.
Yeah, it was just for me, it's the more content, the better. Especially if you're a younger generation who doesn't have kids and a full-time job, so you have time to watch it. But here, just press pause and then you watch it the next day or whatever.
We're experimenting with different, like we've done episode 10, we just had one guest, that was Luke Sando. And then we've like this episode is actually a bit of a special one because it's entitled The Young Hotshot.
And it came after I told you. You know what happened tonight, Chris? Cool. So when I was sleeping at Giles, great house by the way, it got really cold at night, of course. But I woke up to a fantastic dream, and I have a dream that I met R. Kelly. Because R. Kelly is my favorite singer. He's having a hard time now.
Were you yourself in the dream, or were you a teenage girl?
No, I'm... And that's how we came up with the idea for this episode.
Was it?
Hot, young...
AJ. You're a bad man, AJ.
So, this is a hot, young prospect episode, isn't it?
Young what?
Hot, young What was it?
That was close.
Yes,
close.
That was close, AJ.
What was
We're
it
going to
again?
get taken off air here, mate.
What was it called again?
Young Hotshots.
Young Hotshots.
Now, would you like me to explain what the Young Hotshots are?
Tell me, what is that?
This is the next generation of super pros, the guys that are going to be filling up the top 6 of the Olympia and maybe even winning the Olympia. So I've reached out to 3 of the very best young hotshots. I tried to get Rafael Brandao on from Brazil, 25 years old, but I believe he told me, he did respond. He said, I've got photo shoots. He said, I'll try to get back to you if I can. But because his English is very good now. I spoke to him at the Arnold Classic.
He's muchly improved.
Yeah, we had a proper conversation.
So we have Derek Lunsford. I'm really excited to talk to him.
25 years old.
Can you imagine? Just imagine you're 25 and you already billed as the best 212 in the world.
Yes.
Because Flex is retired. And he's billed as the best now currently.
Yeah, he's probably in the running now to be. The throne is vacant this year, coming into the 2019 Olympia. There's no Flex Lewis, there's no Jose Raymond,
He's got to do the work, though.
He's got to do the work, yeah. He didn't bring his best last year at the Olympia, which tells you kind of how good he is.
I'm also excited that you have the new South African bodybuilder, Sibusiso.
This is someone I've been pushing. I've been
Who's on the cover, by the way?
George the Bull Peterson.
Oh, he seems familiar.
Yes, he was in last episode of Global Muscle Radio. Great guy, wasn't he?
Fantastic.
You were really impressed because I don't think you knew that much about him, and you were kind of, I could see the way that even in the first 5 minutes you were really like, you kind of woke up and like, right, this guy is good.
Because I'd seen him compete, of course, many times, but his personality I wasn't too familiar with. Great, and also
Nice guy.
That he's an educated man, that he can have a full-time job and look like that. So, like, it's that a lot of people make an excuse, I can't look like that if I have a full-time job.
I think sometimes bodybuilders having full-time jobs can help them, not hinder them.
In what way?
Well, from personal experience, when I was 20, I did my first show. I actually had a full-time job at that time. And the structure of having that day and having the financial security of that actually enabled me to have more, well, I've said it, more structure. And
structure.
It's, like when you're working from home, and I had different projects on the go when I left that full-time job, it's like you go into bed at different times. And I think actually, and certainly the financial security as well, because that makes a big difference to having that, knowing what's coming in every single month. And
for me, I think it's even not about the money, because you can make money other ways, but it's a structure and discipline, yeah.
Yeah.
Because to be a gym goer is we can all do, but those who at that level, you can't do that without structure and discipline, like structure.
Yeah, I was a time because I used to train very late when I'd done some of my contests, and I wouldn't go to bed sometimes till 2, 3 in the morning. You're getting up at 11, you're eating breakfast at 12, and you're kind of out of sync. And I definitely didn't look my best. So I think for the pros, I think having that, especially, it's like, say, Luke Sandow. Now I was speaking to Luke at the Arnold Classic, and the day after the Arnold Classic, I was sat with Shawn Rhoden, and he came over and he said, it's amazing. He says, now I've actually, my bodybuilding can sustain itself. You know, he's like, now his salary had a salary increase from sponsors. He's got a decent amount of chunk of prize money, and he's going to have more, certainly going to have more prize money, you know, from the consequent shows. And it's going to be good prize money. So he's like, now I kind of don't have to worry about having to support my bodybuilding through other financial means. So the pressure's off, which means then he can be a better bodybuilder.
So back to how do you say his name again?
You can't say it, kid.
How many times have I?
You're putting K's in Sibusiso.
What's his name again?
No K in it. Sibusiso.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to speak to him later. Yeah. And he's also in your magazine, isn't he?
Yes, he's in my column, and I said, I titled it, I said, what do you get if you cross a Victor Martinez, a Paul Dillette, and a Shawn Rhoden?
So who's the youngest guys who got the most buzz but didn't work out?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, since we're doing a Hong.
Are you talking like? Sorry, are you talking? We're talking in the last 10, 20 years, or
last 15 years? Yeah, keep it relevant to now.
Well, Chris Cook was quite young, wasn't he?
Not that the blonde.
The tall guy.
The blonde beauty, as we call him.
He was like a tall Jay Cutler.
Oh, he looked fat. No, but he wasn't that young. Well, he was. It's best. I mean, even younger, like Compton and.
Oh, Compton. Yeah.
He was only 24 when he. How old was he again?
He was mid-20s. Yeah, you're right.
How sad that happened to him, because he was on his way to really make a mark.
He had such amazing structure as well.
The one that sticks out to me is Trey Brewer. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah, Trey Brewer. Yeah,
Did you see his legs at 18?
Yeah, it was freaky.
Oh,
yeah.
Burned out. Dallas, of course.
At Dallas, yeah, sadly, yes. Yeah.
But a little bit back in the past. Since here, who would you say? Because
what guys that didn't fulfill their potential?
Yeah, that were young, that were really good, and then really nothing.
I can't think really, because a lot of them did kind of go on. You know, a lot of the guys, because nowadays people are turning pro later. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I mean, if you look at most of the top 6 Olympia guys, they're knocking on 40, or if they're over 40. Rowley's, I think he's 40.
Oh,
Shawn Rhoden's 43. So a lot of these guys are kind of. Cedric he certainly must be 40, at least 41. I think maybe he is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Remember also Richard Jones, Magic Jones.
Richard Jones. Yeah.
You had high hopes for him.
I was talking to a friend of mine who was chatting to him. Maybe this was about a year ago. I was talking to him, and he was saying that he was trying to get Richard to come back as a 212.
Okay, as a 212.
How do you feel about that?
Come on, man.
But he actually did come back as a 212, and I think he took 8th place. And I can't remember the contest, but it was a few years ago. And I think for someone that was touted as a future Mr. Olympia,
it's not good look.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe
he would have done the classic today if it was. Yeah,
Richard Jones, the classic. Yeah. Do you remember when he turned pro as a light heavyweight? He looked like.
Well, he was 198 pounds, wasn't he?
I mean, he was like a Sean Ray.
Oh, he was just
double.
Maybe you have to show this one on Christopher, but a lot of people don't know who Richard Jones is, maybe.
He was touted as the next Mr. Olympia. He went to the 2005 Olympia, and I think he took last place.
Oh.
So that was, I think sometimes there's, sometimes when there's this hype placed upon these bodybuilders and then they don't hit the mark, I think sometimes it just knocks them out of the game. It devastates them too much. So sometimes it's a bit of a gift and a curse. There you go. Look at that. Look at the bottom shot, the black and white shot where he's doing the go down, get there, let that that colour one where he's doing the floor pose. That was when he won the Nationals. That was the Nationals. I forget what. That's probably around early 2000s. But look at that, 198 pounds. He would have been a perfect 212 around that. Look at the midsection.
You go up.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that flex front cover as well.
Took a look at that cover. Yeah. He got that when he was an amateur.
Oh, he was amateur.
Yeah, it was 41. You know.
Oh yeah. Wow, what a physique. There's some Chris Lund pictures. I recognise the lighting.
Where's Shawn Ray up there? You see that? Press that one. Yeah. That's Shawn Ray to the left?
I believe Shawn actually did try and help him, and I think they were friends. They were good friends, because I saw them do some photo shoots together. And I think he really tried to help. In fact, I've seen a picture there from the Night of Champions. Now, if I'm right, I've got the 2003 Night of Champions.
Look at that picture to the right, Giles.
That's Shawn Ray.
No, to the right.
That's Shawn Ray. I'm going to say it looks like Shawn Ray.
Okay.
And I tell you, when that picture of Shawn Ray was taken, that was taken in 1987 when Shawn Ray won the Nationals.
Oh, what a physique.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be, sadly.
Yeah, very sad, but a beautiful physique. And if only the 212 was around then. It's because of guys like that, the 212 was introduced, because...
And it will be because it will be in a 212 class with taller guys.
Yeah, because I think...
Wouldn't it?
Richard Jones wasn't short.
He wasn't short, no?
He was about... Sean Ray's 5'7". I think Richard Jones, I've got 5'9" in my head for some reason.
He's not 5'6" or 5'7", no.
No, but fantastic physique. So what are we talking about?
We're talking about young
Hotshots.
Hotshots.
You'll get it right eventually.
I get it wrong each time.
Brilliant.
But also, one thing's also, when we're booking guests, something's very important. Professionalism.
Ah, yes. This is a real bone of contention.
This is for the pros out there listening.
This is something, I mean, I'm in contact with all my different shows, Muscle News Weekly and this, and my columns, and all the different show coverage. I'm constantly in contact with athletes of all levels, amateurs, pros, top pros, and there's a trend with like guys like Sibusiso. There's a guy that is Derek Lunsford. The two of the guests are on today. That's no coincidence. These are the guys that are professional. They're courteous. They're quick to respond. They're easy to work with. You don't have to chase them, because I will say this now. There is more. If you want to maximize your potential as a pro athlete, and if you've got a window of a 5-10 year career, you've only got so long where you can make an impact and make a good living and create opportunities. And there's more to it than just having a professional looking physique that wins shows. So it's about being professional.
That's why you are IFBB pro.
Exactly.
A professional.
Exactly. So there's a real... with things like working with people in the media...
Who's the worst? Who's the most amateurish guy you had to deal with the last 10 years? Because you've been doing... For people at home who has... Giles Tiger Thomas has been doing reporting since what year?
24 years. I started when I was 19 years old.
Yeah, so you have a long experience contacting different pros. Who's the top 2 worst pros to deal with?
Well, I have a list.
You have a list?
It's called a GFY list.
What does that stand for? I'm not good with...
Chris, can you tell us what GFY stands for?
G what?
Maybe don't.
Okay.
Go.
Fuck you.
Fudge.
Hey.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, also, we're allowed, because this is a PG-13 show, we're allowed 1 F-bomb each.
Because I use mine now.
No, you've used it now. And if you don't, and if you use any more, you have to put £10 in for Phil Heath's autism charity.
far.
I put 20 pounds.
Oh, okay. We got 2 more F-bombs.
This
then.
is, yeah.
Actually, you don't. It doesn't sound right when you swear.
We're gonna talk about people who swear. I have an idea for you, Chris, a little bit later with the guy. You remember I told you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They're producing up that show with. But let's go back to who was the worst to work with.
I can't say.
Yeah,
I can't say. No. Because I can't actually think right now. Actually, because the list is so long. No. No. Well, the thing is, those guys, I just. It's like I won't chase anyone. In terms of, if I don't care who they are, it's like because I'm trying to give opportunity. I'm trying to help all levels of athletes from the.
I just showed that camera.
No, Rosie's pretty good.
Olympia, man.
She was pretty good at getting. She always got back to me. She always texts back. This is my partner, IFBB professional Rosie Rascal Hart. So that's.
So your worst.
I can't think. No, I'm not gonna say. No, you're not pushing me on this one. Sorry, because I might have to bump into him. So.
Who's the best?
Best?
That's many good now also.
There's a lot of great. I mean, like, to be honest, like I said, guys like Derek Lunsford, Kamal.
We have to put Brandon
There's so
Curry.
many. Brandon Curry, fantastic. You can't fault these guys. I mean, look at Phil Heath. He came episode 9. He came on at what? 45 minutes notice. Gave us an hour.
We were on our way to Lean Kitchen, who was a fantastic restaurant, by the way.
Healthy food.
And we had to make some impact for Arnold Classic. And we said, Phil, can you come on? Wow. 15 minutes.
He didn't even wait till he got home because he had his laptop with him, and he opened it up and he just gave us that endorsement, which is like, I mean, that was
and
really.
People say he's not a people. He's not. I can't believe it. If they only knew.
Phil's great. I had a great time with him. I spoke about this in the last episode, but I had a great time with the autism charity event on the Friday night in Columbus 2-3 weeks ago. So great time, great guy. Cherie, absolutely wonderful. Very warm people. They were very pleased. They're very appreciative. And in fact, I messaged Phil this morning because you were falling asleep in the car last night when we were recording a previous episode. So I thought you better get to bed early because AJ flies over from Norway every single 2 weeks. And we film 2 episodes in 2 days. And then sometimes we do a live show as well.
Are we crazy or what? We're a little bit crazy.
We are a bit crazy because when I first laid out the idea for this show, I just thought, I didn't even think about the practicalities of how we were going to get past the first 2 episodes. But I did it, and here we are. We're on episode 12.
It works. It works.
It works, yes. And thanks to you, Chris. Thanks to you, AJ. Honestly, I couldn't be happy with the team we've got. It's a little close-knit team. And I mean, the atmosphere in the studio is... Anyway, back to Phil Heath. Enough about you guys.
Let's just put that back onto Giles. It's Giles' idea and concept, this, and he's pulled all this together and got me involved, got you involved as well. So hats off to you, Giles.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm good at pulling it off. Anyway, back to Phil Heath. so I messaged Phil Heath this morning, and I said, AJ's still in bed because you were in bed for like 11:30. Normally you stay up through the night.
Yeah.
And I said it was about 10 o'clock, and I was making my breakfast, and I said, Phil, I'm gonna blast the 5-finger death punch, the devil music. I said to wake him up. I said because we've got to get him up because we need to leave the studio in about the next half an hour or something.
The audience wants some crazy stories sometimes.
Come on, what we got? I got
Giles,
so many stories.
What's your craziest story you ever done related to training?
Oh, training.
Yeah.
Well, it was always my leg sessions. I used to train because I'm from a little town in Wales, much like Flex Lewis. And from the age I started training at 13, I didn't leave that town till I was 23. The closest gym to me was an hour away on the bus. So every Saturday I would get up and I'd catch the bus to Hereford. It was about an hour away. And I used to have my Saturday morning leg sessions at a gym called the Fitness Factory in Hereford. And I used to have a training partner called Alex. Well, he's moved to New Zealand now. He's now a trout fisherman and a personal trainer. And,
a trout what?
A trout fisherman. He's into like really high level.
A lot of bodybuilders like fishing.
Yeah, it's relaxing and
the Northern Pike, Edwards.
Protein. Yeah, free source of protein.
Yeah.
Yes, and I used to have, and I remember as like a teenager, and I remember the first time I squatted like 4 plates, and those leg sessions with this guy Alex Waller. We burst blood vessels in our eyes. We had nosebleeds. I'd constantly falling over. I passed out once for 15 minutes in the changing rooms. And then but those days were great. Like, the first time I squatted, it wasn't quite 4.5 plates. It was 4 plates, a 5, and then the 2.5 kilo collars. But those days, like when we'd say, right, let's do like 25 reps with 225, 100 kilo. And those days were so much fun looking back on that. this is the training all out and just
Having big dreams and
yeah. And my training partner used to be like a cork board, like a notice board on the wall, and he used to, because I'd be the one that psyched myself up very quietly. I'd be like just muttering away in my head to myself, and Alex was a bit more intense, and he would put the belt on, and he would headbutt. He would headbutt the corkboard. He'd be like, fucking be like effing and and stuff. And that used to kind of get him going. And we used to do the old back slap as well. But yeah, those were good days. And funnily enough, another funny story to that related to that gym. I remember one time there was a guy doing weighted chins, and he had these metal hooks so he didn't have to worry about his grip giving out. So this was on a night time, and the gym was very, very busy. and he'd gone to absolute failure where he couldn't even budge him. And then one of the other guys in the gym came down and pulled his trousers down. And he was facing the whole gym. They pulled his underpants down and everything. So
you know what I did, Chris?
come on, tell us.
Okay, so I was 21, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
I was going, sadly, to jail.
Okay.
There was a little problem, and I had to take a quick trip to jail.
Okay.
The only thing I thought about was
it unpaid parking tickets?
only thing I had to care about was, oh no, I'm gonna lose size. Because when I was 21, I had big dreams of becoming the new Tony Freeman, you know?
Okay.
So I was training real good, eating, everything was epic, I was training only upper body, of course. You know how it's I was training.
You got to train legs if you want to be a pro, mate.
Yes, I know. And then I had to go to jail.
Okay.
And I called the jail facility and I said, how's the gym? And they told me the gym was pretty good. I said, okay.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'm coming to jail. I'm going to be there for 5 months. Yeah, that's a long time.
Whoa.
Yeah,
21.
Oh, 21. It's the only time I've been in jail, and my last one and my first one. And there's never again. For people listening, jail, there's nothing for people. I hate when people brag about going to jail.
Yeah.
This is not about that. This is about a funny story about it.
This is about the gym.
I come into the jail. I was like, okay, where can I buy my meat? Where can I was thinking this is gonna be really good because I was thinking 7 meals of beef, tuna fish, train.
So you thought
come out, do a show, great, like a vacation.
You thought this was like a training camp.
Correct.
This is great. I'll make the best of it.
Because Norway is not like I don't know how it is in England in prisons, but it's not like America. You don't date guys in prison in Norway. You know what I mean? So you don't have to. Anyway.
But that's where we met, in the prison showers, wasn't it, AJ?
Anyway, I come to the prison. I see my roommate, some old Norwegian guy, 50 years old, looking at me and getting scared, of course. I said, yeah. Go up and sleep upstairs. He goes, you sleep up and down. He was sleeping down. I said, move up.
Okay.
Because I don't want to climb when you're 6'5" and Anyway.
Claps.
So I went to the gym. What do you think was in the gym?
Exercise ball.
One what's it called? Like this
cable crossover.
And one ab machine.
Oh no.
For 120 people.
What?
5 months. What do you think I did?
I don't know.
This is how dedicated I was. I faked a heart attack so they could remove me to another prison so I could train.
Oh.
So in the middle of the dinner,
tell us. Okay, imagine
the first day I came in to eat then dinner. I got pain in my chest. And I fell on the floor. And I started, and I spit out a little bit of foam to act like I have a heart attack.
Was it toothpaste?
And they removed me to another prison. I went to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then they said,
but the gym wasn't good in the hospital either.
Listen, so they're going to put me to another prison. What do you think happened?
You had another heart attack?
They sent me to the prison, to the worst prison in Norway.
Oh, God.
And I was just on the open prison where you have everything.
Yeah.
So by faking, and they thought it was real, because I was so sick that I couldn't be around normal people. So because of that shit, they put me in a high security prison.
Okay.
And I got 4 months more.
Oh God!
Because when you go to when you go to high prison, you don't get something called 2/3, because usually you only have to serve 2 terms of the time.
Yeah.
But here you have to do full time.
Okay.
So by me faking my way to go to another prison, I got a shit maximum prison. I got 3 months more.
So AJ, they say
it was a horrible idea. So don't fake heart attacks to train in the gym.
That's the moral of this story.
That's the moral of the story. What
AJ,
awful.
so they say hindsight is valuable.
Yeah.
In hindsight, do you wish you had hindsight?
In hindsight, we should do the correct way, and that's to take a good education.
Yep.
Really focus on bodybuilding when you're young.
Yeah, it's good for discipline.
Try to get one girl that supports you really with bodybuilding.
Not several.
To be fair, do one.
Okay.
If you for the younger 18, 19 years out there, when you're looking good, you get a lot of girls, but get one. Like Jay Cutler did, you remember back in the day?
Yeah, they were together from 17.
No, he didn't do the education, but he didn't because he was super epic.
Yeah, but he had a good work ethic.
I know.
Because his whole family were hard workers and...
So get a good education.
Yeah, it's important.
Get a good job. Do the bodybuilding. Keep one girl. Keep all other activities. Do no recreational drugs.
Yeah, that absolutely.
I hate when bodybuilders... there's a lot of weed talk in bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's big in America, with the bodybuilders.
Why?
I don't know. It's not. I've never ever smoked weed. Never interested me.
I don't believe you.
I remember what?
I don't believe you.
No, I've never smoked weed.
tried
I've never smoked anything. Never smoked
Wow.
weed. Somebody blew some in my face once through a rolled up piece of carpet, and I went to the toilet and vomited, and then felt dizzy. And I was like, I don't think much of that.
I almost started smoking weed again when I couldn't enter America.
Oh.
The Arnold Classic. I was like, I
didn't
was
hit-
crying.
AJ,
I can't go.
You went AWOL for 4 days, man. I couldn't get hold of you.
You remember, Chris? I applied to go to America. They wouldn't let me because I applied something. I applied on called EFTA. You know what EFTA is?
EFTA.
And I didn't even look at all the questions. I just pressed no on everything. And then on everything. So they gave me a no. So I just, you couldn't get hold of me for a couple of days.
I know. I was like, oh God.
I'm going to watch Arnold Classic up close.
Yeah, I did feel for you, mate. I felt for you.
Well, we have the England show, the 30th.
Oh yes, 30th of June, the return of the British Grand Prix. This is the first Open Pro show since 2012 when Shawn Rhoden and Flex Lewis won the Open and the 212. I was at that show. I covered it for MD. Yes, that was the last Open Pro show we had in the UK. So
it was,
and this is just Open. So it's still a bit early to tell who's going to be doing it, but I've heard some. I know Blessing Awadibu is making the Boogeyman is making his pro debut. He told me we were stood outside the toilets. I did a little video. I put it in Moss News Weekly, episode 38, and he said it's confirmed he's doing his pro debut there. And so I'd like to get some more names in that. Samson Dowder is going to be in that one. I think James Hollinshead said he's the strongest. This is someone that Luke Sandow...
Strongest bodybuilder alive.
Luke Sandow confirmed in episode 10 of MD Global Muscle Radio that James was indeed overall stronger than him. Now, Luke Sandow is super strong.
What about Akeem Williams? I heard he's amazingly strong.
Yeah, and he seems to do a lot of. He's quite intense with his drop sets, and he's very. I had a good chat with Akeem actually the other week. He's. I didn't realize how good he was until I saw him at the Arnold Classic.
Oh, he was fantastic, wasn't he?
Amazing. He just needs to get harder. Just needs to drop 10 pounds, and he'd be unstoppable. You know, he could win multiple pro shows this year. He's that good.
I'm excited for the hot young. What do you call it again?
Oh, come on, AJ. Play the game, mate. Play the game. Christ almighty. Yeah, yes, the Young Hotshots. Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, we've got Sibusiso Kotelo.
Jenna Jameson story. You told me you had a Jenna Jameson story, didn't you? We want to hear the Jenna Jameson story.
Okay, I want to go back.
Chris, who's Jenna Jameson, by the way?
Wouldn't know.
Chris has said he's aware of her work. He's aware of her work, and he's, yes. Jenna Jameson is quite, I believe, I've been told, is quite a well-known ex-adult film star.
Okay.
She's made many movies. I don't know the names of them.
Movies? You call them movies?
Well, the high budget.
She shot a lot of scenes.
A lot of scenes, yeah, a lot of epic scenes. So anyway, there you go. That's Jenna Jameson.
Take away, there might be some, She looks, she looks, I'm blonde.
Jenna Jameson bust sexy in. What does that say? In yellow. Oh, in yellow. Oh, yeah. Very beautiful woman.
Very beautiful woman.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you a story. It was Miami 2012. I was out. I had a meeting with Ronnie Coleman about doing some projects because I ended up working with Ronnie.
The greatest of all time. Can we agree?
The GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So I was over there to have a meeting with him, Ronnie and his business partner, but it was also the time of the Masters Olympia. Now, a friend of mine called Crystal, I met her at the Arnold after party, the Jason Deere 2011 Arnold after party, and we've been great friends ever since. She actually joined me and Ron Harris at the Phil Heath's autism night. She's a lovely girl. We've stayed in contact. We're great friends. And she was looking to network and do some. So I said, well, why don't you come out and join me? Because I'm going to be by myself. I said, just as friends, whatever. And so she joined me. And on the final night, I thought, because it was busy and, there were the show, hanging out with Steve Bleckman and Pete McGough, Lou Ferrigno, Sean Ray, all those guys.
Lou Ferrigno, what a legend. I love Lou Ferrigno.
You love Lou Ferrigno, don't you?
6'5", 320 pounds, 3% body fat. That's how he introduces himself.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. And you have to pay $20 to get a picture, to get an autograph.
Yeah.
It's a good guy. I like him in all ways.
You like him. Okay. And, sorry, what was I saying?
After party.
Yeah. So anyway, the last night I said, "Come on, Crystal, we just spend just go out a night out in Miami. Just go to a nice club and we'll spend some time together. And then you can go home and I'll go home and it'll be great." So anyway, the last night we went out and we're in this supposed super club. But it was all right. It was not. I didn't think it was anything special. But it was a bit. I was like, the drinks were like $20 each, and it was like, no, it was fine. So me and her drinking and dancing and having some fun and all of a sudden this girl pops up, this really pretty girl, and she's like, oh, this is my friend. I used to model with this girl. She's from Playboy.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, nice to meet you. So anyway, she goes off to the toilets and I'm left there, stood there by myself 20 minutes. I'm thinking, okay.
They were out doing some.
She's not seen her friend for a while. They're talking in the toilets, doing their hair, doing the makeup, whatever. So I'm stood there. So she comes back. She bumps into another girl. Oh, this is so-and-so from Vegas. I'm friends with her. It was the same story. And I was like, okay, so she disappears, this time for half an hour. I'm like, okay, I'm getting a bit annoyed now. I'm getting a bit pissed off. So anyway, and then she disappears again, and I'm assuming she bumped into somebody else because there must have been a group of these girls. So I said, that's it. I'm out. I'm off. So I said to the doorman, I says, oh, if my friend comes back, just tell her I'm outside. So I was outside, sat on these sofas. It was beautiful. It's like 80, 90 degrees, even in December, and it was raining. Oh. So I'm sat there texting my friend back home because I knew it'd be early mornings in UK. And I'm telling her, I said, I'm really annoyed. I said, it's our final night. She keeps leaving me by myself. So only after about 45 minutes, out comes Crystal. She's like, Tiger. That's my nickname.
Oh, your nickname
Giles
is Tiger.
She goes, Tiger, what are you doing? She goes, what are you doing out here? I've been looking for you everywhere. And I went, oh, it's fine. I just want to get some fresh air, And she says, are you pissed off? Or pissed, or that's what Americans say, isn't it? It's the same thing. And I said, no, I'm absolutely fine. Total lie. I said, no, I'm absolutely fine. I'm great. I said, you go back in. I'll give me 10 minutes. I'll come back in 10 minutes. I had no intention of going back in. Mm-hmm. She then comes back out again 20 minutes late, and she says, Giles, I'm in the VIP area by myself. Well, there's only us. There's me, 3 or 4 Playboy models, Jenna Jameson, 3 bottles of Cristal champagne, which we've got complimentary. And I've been telling them all about my friend from UK, Giles, and they all want to meet you. What do you think I said?
Do you have some extra Viagra?
No. I refuse to go in.
I have a girlfriend, so I want to go home.
Okay. Yes. No, I didn't.
That's what I would have said.
Well, I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. So, so I basically, I said, no, I'm not coming in. So I committed to my huff. So basically, when I'm in a mood, I commit to it.
What did you say?
I didn't go back in. And she said, seriously, do you know Jenna Jameson? I said, yes, I'm aware of her work.
He didn't go back in. Chris.
Yeah. So I just sat there with my arms folded, like with my bottom lip out like a grumpy toddler, thinking, yeah, that showed her. That told her. So basically there was 5 models, free champagne in a VIP area. I'd have been the only guy. They all wanted to meet me, and I didn't go back in.
Could you, obviously it's not about to be related, but could you date a girl that makes porn?
No.
That would be
not again. Not again. No.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
We shout out. Let's do one shout out now.
Yeah,
let's get a shout out.
We've actually prepared these shout outs.
We're prepared these shout outs. What's the first one, Giles? No, Chris.
Chris is going to bring them up on the screen. We're going to explain.
So this is my friend Ivan watching at home. Go a little bit down. Just go on the first one up there. Just post that one to the right. Just post that one. Just have that one. So he's going for his pro card. He's trying.
What class?
He's men's physique in Norway. And in Norway, men's physique, you can only weigh...
Men's physique?
In men's physique in Norway, you're only allowed to weigh like 70 kilos.
There's no weight limits in men's physique.
In Norway, you're not allowed to be big.
Yeah, but there's no weight restrictions.
No,
in
but
men's
that's
physique.
what I mean. If there's only a matter of time. What can I say? If you weigh too much, you're not allowed to be on stage.
I don't get that.
Because it's anti-steroids, anti-everything, you know what I mean?
Are you talking about classic?
Men's physique.
Nah, you're lying.
No, you're not allowed to be, you know what I mean? You just got to keep it, come in small and don't make much fuss.
Yeah. I've seen that happen. I've
Yeah.
seen guys pulled off stage and put in weight classes because of that.
So he's doing he's living his dream now. He's going for the pro card in IBB Elite Pro.
Yeah.
Here, the 31st of March in Watford,
London. Yeah, North London.
London. So he's going for his pro card.
There's that you, AJ? There? Is that
Yeah,
you
that's
with him?
me. I train with him sometimes.
Oh, nice.
That's us there we are in the gym.
He looks more. I mean, he's got great legs. So why doesn't he do classic?
He wants to grow more. He's
he's-
only 24.
But he actually trains legs.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the reason I'm saying that is because he's got good legs for classic.
So he's going to. Yeah, it's not.
He's
It's not enough. It's not a commercial for this guy, bro. Come on. So with the dogs and yeah,
nice.
no. So he's
Sorry, go on.
you have a story. So he's going for his pro card in men's physique in England, jumping off the elite federation, going all in. So we want to give him a shout out.
Very best of luck to
And the
your
Bros
friends.
to Pros, 31st of March.
Also, talking about dogs, you've reminded me of someone that had a baby today.
Oh, that should be a whole hot news show.
Yeah. Your idol,
The King of Kings, Mike O'Hearn.
Micah Hearn. Yeah, I saw a picture literally this morning when I was making your breakfast. I was making your eggs. I was scrolling through and blasting out the 5-finger death punch, and on came Micah Hearn with his new baby. Was it a boy or a girl? I don't know. I didn't see.
I just saw busy today, but we're gonna post.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
to
to
Mike
him and his
O'Hearn.
wife. Yeah.
Now he has everything you want in life. A kid too.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I'm really pleased, really pleased for those guys.
Yeah.
So so can I give a shout out to one of my people?
Oh, there is.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah.
What? Okay, what does it say? Is it a boy or a girl?
Baby.
Congrats, baby Titan.
Baby. Oh, it's a boy. Titan.
Did you just sing Justin Bieber?
No, you imagine that.
Didn't he say
Chris,
baby? Oh, you just sang Justin Bieber.
Chris, tell me.
Hey guys, he says he's a heavy metal guy, and he just sang Justin Bieber on.
I hear everything, and that was Justin Bieber.
No,
No,
you
it's
imagined
Justin
it.
Bieber.
You imagined it, guys.
Chris, he just sang a Justin Bieber song.
I think we need to do a rewind.
No. Okay, no, was it a boy or a girl?
It's Titan, so baby Titan. So I'm
Oh,
assuming that's a boy. That's a good name.
Yeah, it's a boy's name.
Titan. That's
That's-
a badass name.
His name is Baby Titan.
Baby Titan. There, look. The Hanaconda. Congrats are your baby Titan.
Maybe they just say that this is one of his fans.
Oh yeah. See what? Well, it's a baby, and it looks great. So, no, I mean everything's healthy and looks good, and
Yeah.
so that's.
Oh,
that's
Mike O'Hearn, what a guy, man.
You love him, don't you?
You know how old he is? He's like 48 or whatever it is now.
Wow.
Yeah, and looking like that. Man, and he does not. A lot of people.
He should act and go be
A
Superman.
lot of people. Very few people make any money from bodybuilding, even if you're a pro or whatever you are. When I was a kid, he was on the magazine. He was the most sold cover.
Okay.
What's it called? Cover boy? How do you say that?
Cover man?
He's the
girl,
most man with the most covers in the world. And these were the times when it was usually freaks
Yeah,
on the covers.
That's fair.
So he was still him and Frank Seppe, you remember? They were on the covers.
Oh, Frank Seppe, yeah, he does all the interviews for NPC. I always see him at the shows. I always say hello. Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah, and he did that. And I was like, who's this guy? And then that he's been around since then to now.
He's still going strong.
American Gladiators.
Yep.
Guinness Book of World Record. You know that?
Okay.
For breaking glass or eating glass or something.
Eating glass.
Something.
I thought he was a powerlifter.
I've got to Google that.
Yeah, he's karate, the champion. He does karate.
Yeah, but just imagine that picture, right, with a blue cape on, in a Superman outfit.
He's a Superman
Well,
guy
I was
too.
just going to say, he'd make a great Captain
I
America.
think he is a Superman,
not
isn't he?
Captain America, Superman. I've seen photo shoots of him with the hair. Yeah, I'd love to see him in the proper Henry Cavill type Superman outfit.
Yeah, great guy. And the funny stories is that he's also known to be a natural, that he doesn't use any steroids.
Yep.
And I just love seeing the people comment about it. They go, Mike, and like, who gives a you know what I mean? Who cares? You're the champ for and he's won. What else has he won? He's won a lot of titles, Mr. America. Mm-hmm. So he's competing, acting. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing to see somebody do this for 20 years.
That's incredible. I mean, to be that's relevant and that kind of at the top of your game for that long, we need to get him on.
I've tried.
Well, let's keep trying.
You had a shout out. You forgot. We just put Michael Hearn up. Josh, did you have a shout out?
Yes, I did have a shout out. If Chris could bring that up.
I was just researching that Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah. Like,
and
eating glass.
No, not eating glass. For smashing glass.
Wow.
Oh, smashing glass.
Oh, they have a smashing glass. So we watch it.
And he
Looks
was
like a ninja there.
What is he doing?
What's he doing? Oh, what is he doing?
Oh!
Wow! Just running through glass plates for the sake. AJ. For the sake of the audio listeners, there's a guy in an American football outfit and helmet running through plates of glass, one after the other.
I could do that even better than him, don't you think?
Yeah, I think
you could flick it.
I'll mess them up real quick. No, that was wrong, and they're happy.
You wouldn't need a suit either.
No,
straight through it.
No, but. Okay, so he gets in the... So this is a...
he's having trouble there.
There's a trouble there.
AJ, this is great for the audio listeners.
No, yeah, it's not correct. Well, so he gets a... Oh. Yeah,
sorry.
7 years ago, that was. Okay, that's fantastic.
You get in the Book of Records for doing that?
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? You can get in the Guinness Book of Records for anything you choose to do that nobody else has done. So who has turning down so who will get champagne with porn stars? I'll be
who will get in the Book of Record? What do you I don't know how to say that right now. The Book of what?
Guinness Book of World Records
for best chest of all time.
Best chest.
Who would be in that?
Oh God,
all time.
Ronnie Coleman.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Of all time?
Yeah. Arnold. Haney.
No, not Arnold. Man.
Oh, come on. He had a fantastic chest.
Of all time?
He could rest a glass on his upper pecs.
For his times, yeah.
Well, yeah, for this time, and it kind of, it's even more impressive.
Compare that to Ronnie. You got just the best of all time, no matter times.
According to a poll, Arnold Schwarzenegger, number 1.
57-inch chest.
Lou Ferrigno. Lee Haney. Bertil Fox. Marcus
Rule.
Yeah,
Ronnie fantastic.
Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman all the way 7th place.
Gary Stridham.
Gary Stridham had it shredded.
And Franco Colombo.
Why didn't Gary Stridham win the big one and he jumped federation and everything? But what did he lack?
His back. Yeah, he really lacked back. He looked He came 5th in the 1988 Mr. Olympia. I remember because he did the Night of I can't believe I don't know this. The Night of Champions, he was about 240. Then he came down to 228. And it kind of sometimes when you drop weight to get extra shredded, like a lot of the guys did, and it would come off your weak body parts. So it came off his back, which made his weak back even weaker. But then he did the Gary Stridham did the WBF show, which was like the Vince McMahon, and he won that 2 years in a row. Made a brief comeback in 2006, came 3rd, I believe, in Shawn Ray's. Was it 3rd? 3rd in Shawn Ray's Colorado Pro in 2006, and that's the last we've seen of him.
Arnold really has the best chest of all. Hello, you sure about this? Nobody with modern technology and everything has. But you
got to take the era into account. But he was.
Yeah, forget about that. I'm just saying the best.
Yeah, but just look at it visually. Watch Pumping Iron.
I've seen it many, many times.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yes, this is Liam C. John. He was messaging me this morning. This is a 22-year-old guy from Edinburgh. He says he's bringing height back to bodybuilding because he's your height, AJ. He's 6'5".
Well, Jamie's already taking that title, though. So.
Yes. Yes, that's a good point. 6'5", doing the classic. Great proportions. He was saying, I think he's 5 weeks out in that picture.
Wow, looks good.
So I said to us, your condition's on point, mate. You're looking fantastic. And just get that condition.
And Chasey, we forgot his name. Let me see.
That's looks like Wesley Vissers there. Do you think that pose? It looks very Wesley Vissers. Very good. Yeah, it looks very good.
6'5", and how much did he weigh?
That's a proper classic physique, that. I think I forgot his weight, but he does say in one of the pictures. Yeah, it looks great.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah, Redcon 1. So is he sponsored by Redcon?
Where does it say that?
It says on his hashtags. Is he a hashtag?
Maybe he wants to be sponsored by
Yeah,
I don't know. He looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'd like to talk about, big thank you there to Liam, and looking good, mate, and smash the show and get shredded, because I'm a stickler for, as you know, AJ, I'm a conditioned snob.
That's why when you give your reviews, you're not dissing them. You just want it to come in better condition. Because if you go to your Instagram, show him his picture on Instagram with what you call.
You stop. Guys,
what's condition for Giles? Take a look.
Chris, get it up. Oh, guys, stop.
No, but this is not bragging. This is just like when you say condition, it's because you've done.
AJ.
Let him see the picture for himself.
AJ, I want to get some.
There.
This is the reason why I am such a conditioned snob. This was my first contest in 2004.
That's condition.
That was backstage. Now, I think most people were amazed I even turned up to that show. And it's funny because I was saying to my girlfriend at the time, I said, why are people ignoring me? I'm saying hello to them. She goes, Charles, they don't recognize you. I was known in that area as the sausage-armed photographer. Sausage-armed. I had big sausage arms, fat arms, like sausage casings.
Yeah.
So for me to turn up like that, it was a bit of a shock for everyone, I think.
Should condition beat shape?
Absolutely. Well, no, no. It's a combination of factors. And actually, if you go down, you can see that Shawn Rhoden put a little comment on there today as well. So I was thrilled with that. So he said, stay in your own lane. Because I talked about how I prepped myself. I trained myself for that contest. I did everything myself. Cooked all my own food. I did everything. And what was I going to say? Oh, Shawn Rhoden, look. Yeah. Like you did stayed in your own lane and worked in silence, and that's exactly what I did. So this is why I am like I'm not giving a hard time. Well, I am giving a hard time to guys like Rolly Winkler when they're turning up in that kind of condition, like they did at the Arnold Classic. So I am a bit
Josh too.
Yeah, I'm a bit harsh because at the end of the day, it's achievable.
And Cedric too.
Yeah, Cedric was okay. It wasn't too bad a condition.
Not too bad, but like if you want to win.
Yeah, it wasn't like winning condition, but still did very well for fourth place. But so that's why, and I'm big on the two things I always go on about is posing and condition. These are the two things I look for, and they're the two things that really impress me because these are the things you really have to work for. Genetic size and stuff and shape, you have that genetically and you can work with it. But things like condition, you can be genetically lean, but real condition, you can't. There's nothing you can take to really get yourself shredded. No. I've seen people who are like, oh, I'm 4 weeks out from a contest. And they're like, so what are you going to do to get harder? Oh, I'm going to double my clenbuterol. I'm going to double this. And it's like, no, gear doesn't get you shredded. It's hard dieting. And also for that prep, I did no cardio and I didn't take any diuretics either.
That's why Dexter Jackson and Bonac is always getting the good placings. They're always in condition.
Oh, I mean, Bonac is so... Dexter as well. I mean, the conditioning they bring is so consistent. It's just... And the separation and the quality.
I remember Dexter when he was a little bit younger?
I remember when he did his first Olympia in 99.
Oh, he looked just amazing.
Beautiful physique.
A little bit smaller, but...
In fact, I was working for a British magazine. I was working for Metrex, Dorian Yates at the time, in 99, living in London. And the guys from the magazine, they went to the Arnold Classic in 99. That was the one that NASA won. NASA won. Kevin Navrone was second. I forget who came third. The 1999 Arnold Classic. And they came back and they had some 35mm pitches they processed, developed. And they came back and I was looking along and I went, wow, who's that guy? I said, that guy's got a beautiful shape. And they went, oh, that's the guy called Dexter something. And I was like, I said, this guy's good. And then that year, he got 9th place there. And then later on at the Olympia, he took 9th place. And then he just, over 20 years, he just rose and rose and rose until in 2008, he won the Arnold Classic and the Olympia. Not bad. That's a real story for someone who just didn't give up.
Can you imagine Dexter Jackson coming in and winning 2019 Olympia? He doesn't have to qualify. He just does a perfect prep.
That's a good point, yeah.
Could it be done?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know whether he could win the Olympia again. I mean, he's just even the fact that he's still placing top 6 after 20 years.
But he had an off year last year.
He was still 7th.
For him, it's an off year.
Yeah. I mean, he was second in 2015 or 16. He was second again.
I know.
So he's only can
it be done?
That's 7 or 8 years after he'd won the Olympia.
He looks really fresh in his pictures now. He's back in the gym training. Dexter, yeah.
Dexter's very smart because he takes time off. He cleans out. He's he's on when he needs to be and he relaxes when he doesn't need to be. So he's not one of these guys who's just constantly putting his foot on the gas all year round.
How long we going for, Chris?
48.
Oh,
Okay, Chris, AJ, I want to talk about. Oh, do you want to give?
we got him the wrong name in episode 11. Mm-hmm. So Chase Tattersall, thanks for watching and congratulations on your win.
Yes. What did he win, AJ?
The Arnold Classic qualifier.
Oh, he won.
Yeah, he's the guy in the middle there. Yeah.
Oh, the qualifier. Which one's that? Where's that?
Arnold, Australia.
Oh, Australia.
Yeah.
Okay. When was that?
A week, 4 or 5 days ago.
Oh, right. Oh, is this the Josh Lenato qualifier?
Yeah.
The one that Josh was...
No.
Right, okay. Sorry. Just another qualifier.
So great done. Look at his legs.
His legs, wow.
So he's a watcher of the show. I liked his pictures and I commented on it. And it's like, nice shape, huh?
He looks like a superhero too.
Doesn't
Look at
he?
his face.
Look at that picture.
That's very...
Yeah.
Now that is Captain America. Well,
Congratulations.
Captain Australia.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to talk about MD Magazine.
Yeah.
I think I'm allowed to announce that probably the fastest rising star and the biggest pleasant surprise of 2019, a new columnist called
Luke Sandow.
the Juggernaut.
Is that his nickname? Seriously?
The Juggernaut, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, it's X-Men. Have you ever seen the one with what's his name? The footballer, Vinnie Jones. He plays Juggernaut, I think, in one of the X-Men films.
Juggernaut.
Yeah,
that's his nickname.
It's a guy who just like Micah Hearn, where he just runs through walls.
I don't like.
You don't like it?
Luke British Beef Sandow better.
Oh shit!
Seriously?
Oh shit!
Luke British Beef Sandow?
British beef?
Yeah.
Oh come on!
Like some proper British beef. Strong, huge.
Yeah, I think we can think of it. Yeah, the Juggernaut. There you are. Look. There he is. Yeah. There you go. There
I
you
don't
are.
know
There's
what
Vinnie Jones there. X-Men: The Last
The football
Stand.
player, huh?
Yeah.
I don't watch too many of those movies.
There he is. That's Luke Sandow there in his last contest.
So his nickname is Juggernaut? Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. So he's going to be having a column, I think, from I'm guessing the May edition of MD. Mm-hmm. So we're really excited about that. I've also obviously got my column, the MD Global Muscle Buzz column. My partner Rosie has her column, Ask the Rascal. She's the first female to have a MD column, and she's been running that she's been doing that nearly a year now. So get good response on that. Mm-hmm. We have Dr. Testosterone, new guy.
He has a lot of good shows on muscle development.
Yep.
For Dr. T Testosterone.
Good advice. It's good advice
on supplementation.
And how to do it safely, because I think we're a bit lucky in the UK because we're more open about things like steroid use.
Yeah, we're not that in other countries of the world, though.
So other countries, it's not the information, and some of the information sources are a bit dubious.
If you go on YouTube and go, some of these names, we don't want to mention the names. Some of it's just like, come on,
it's
bro.
reckless, and
kids do this type of things.
They click on it and then they read it, and then it's just like, I hate all that stuff.
It's horrible.
Because I've been in the industry how many years, and I get to speak and hang out, and I've competed myself, and I kind of have a good feeling for what really goes on. And it's so these young kids who aren't educated, they're clicking for the first person on YouTube. It'll say a big sort of clickbait title, and they watch it and they think that's how to. There's guys like 18 years old. They don't even the first day they're setting foot in the gym. They're taking stuff and they're taking it wrong. I remember a kid came to Rosie for prep a few years ago, and he was only 18, and the guy he was on, I won't even say what he was on. It was so, and I was like, mate, you shouldn't be on that. And in fact, he showed us pictures of how he looked before he was taking anything, and he looked better. he did, because the kid who sort of advised him was talking out of his arse. So it's good to have proper advice from a proper doctor, and he's a beefy guy himself as well.
He's from Greece, isn't he?
Yeah.
Dr. Tribulus.
I think he's Greek, maybe.
He's Greek.
Tuliatus.
Yeah, Tuliatus, yeah.
So he's got a new video series on musculardevelopment.com as well. So
muscular development is rising now in the streets, aren't they?
Yep.
How was the reaction to muscle development in Arnold at the Arnold Classic?
It was amazing. Yeah, really good.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, really good. It was Yeah, because obviously the industry's been going through a lot of like changes in the last few years, and it's it was a very unsettling period for a lot of the media outlets, and I think things are starting to settle, and I think people the response, the general feeling, I mean certainly with things like what we're doing here at Global Muscle Radio
off.
and Hot News, it's like everyone was even the pros was so receptive to everything we're doing now. I think they appreciate the platform and the effort we've gone to in producing a show this professional and giving the athletes the platform they deserve.
Because we are usually, our little talk, of course, we have fun, but we are here to give the athletes more, let more people see them.
Yeah.
So we're here for them.
Yeah. So also
reach out.
Yeah, and also we have an Instagram page
called Global Muscle.
Yeah, it's Global Muscle @ Global Muscle Radio. Please add us on there and message us if you want any requests for guests. We're also going to be running competitions and giveaways.
Where are the supplements, bro?
High-tech supplements are on their way.
Yeah.
And also we're going to be having giveaways with athletes who have their own clothing lines. They're going to sign caps and T-shirts, and we're going to start giving those as often as we can get them. We'll be giving them away. So stay tuned to the Instagram page, and you will see all the competitions on there. So we just want to build this show and make it really cool.
Can't wait till we get the supplements to give them away contest.
You're obsessed with these supplements.
Yeah, I like giving it out, more, and people are more involved, I like it.
Yeah.
Especially when they see themselves on the show. It must be funny,
Yeah.
Can you imagine when you were young and if you be featured on the show?
Yeah.
Really fun.
I couldn't afford supplements when I was a kid.
No, you couldn't.
What was the first supplement you ever took?
Oh, my favorite supplement was, we had I loved Celtec. From Muscle Tech. Oh, I just love it. After training real hard, you do chest, and you go home, and you have your Celtec, and you drink it, and you watch Branch Warren DVDs. It was just amazing. I wish I could turn back time.
I bought so many shit supplements when I was a kid.
We can't say it's shit, though.
They were shite.
Celtec was a little bit... They were very expensive.
Well, no, Celtec, I mean, I'm older than you, so I'm sort of 8 years older than you.
What was your favorite supplement back in the day?
Oh, I don't think there was one. I tried them all. Because we didn't have whey protein then. It was like calcium caseinate, and the protein powders tasted horrible. I tried things like ferulic acid, dibencoxide. And I mean, they were just crap. I mean, they were rubbish. They were absolute rubbish. But we bought them, I remember taking them, and vanadol sulfate. I remember taking them and thinking I'd wake up the next morning and I'd be massive. And
my first supplement probably was whey protein, of course.
Well, whey protein's fantastic. I mean,
you need it.
The supplements today though are such good quality
compared
to
then.
Yeah, but it was obviously things develop, things evolve. So yeah.
What's your best natural supplement you would recommend for people?
I was like creatine. I did.
No, other supplements like vitamin, whatever.
I always take a good multivitamin pack, a mineral pack. I just think that is an absolute staple.
I really like vitamin D.
Vitamin
I always
D?
have vitamin D. Yeah,
I've got the spray.
Not pills.
Spray. Yeah. Why'd you take that?
You feel better when there's not of sun in Norway.
That's a good point.
So you have to have it. You feel better, energy better. So and you get more libido strength. Okay. Everything is better with it. And something called ginseng.
Ginseng, yeah.
I like ginseng too.
What's the one that gives you libido?
Tribulus.
No. That gives you I'm trying to use the word carefully here.
Rose and ginseng. No. You mix it together. You make it.
What is it? What's it called? It doesn't matter.
Chinese.
No. We'll divert away from this one.
Yeah, we'll go away from that. Okay, we got last shout outs because we got to end it.
Yep.
Mine is to Samson Dowda.
Yeah. Fantastic. 302 pounds.
Samson Dowda from England. I can't wait to see him go there. There you go. Look at him.
I think he says he's 302 pounds. Though.
Yeah. 16 weeks out at 300 pounds.
AJ, I've got a really good feeling about Samson. Samson came sixth. Samson came sixth at the Prague Pro last year. He's made unbelievable improvements, and he's aesthetic. He's big. He's a great poser. He goes good condition, and he's improving very, very fast. And he's someone. I mean, you can just look at the guy's shape. He's not there yet size wise, but I'm telling you, he's gonna really shock. I think this year.
Fantastic poser.
Yes, he's like a combination of Kai Green, Flex Wheeler, Shawn Ray. you can see he's like duplicating all the transitions. I mean, look at the difference in a year there.
Look at the difference.
Yeah, fantastic.
Look at the difference.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on before the London Pro in June.
And your last shout out before we go?
I haven't got one.
I thought you found somebody.
I had one. I brought them up, didn't I?
That.
Them up.
Let's get some hot young prospects. Hot.
Oh, AJ. Right. Okay. Yes. So yeah, stay tuned and check out our Young Hotshot special episode, because we want to give some credit and publicity to the up and comers. These are the next generations. These people, these three in our show, these guys are going to be the ones that are going to be.
Derek is already there though, so
Derek, yeah, exactly. At 25, and he's
amazing.
He's literally he's one step away from becoming Olympia champion. You know, we have and also Sibusiso, where I think will be. I'm going to say it now. I think he'll be top 6 Olympia before he's 30. It's a shame we couldn't get on Raphael, because at 25 years old, 250 pounds, 6'1", aesthetic, brings classic lines to the open show. He is on the rise, that guy. He's incredible. And I think probably has got one of the biggest fan bases, purely by way of Brazil, in the world.
In Latin America, they love bodybuilding.
Yes. I mean,
great to see.
I was talking to, it was actually Raphael's old coach, Patrick Tua, and he's done a tour of Brazil. And he was saying, Giles, he says, I've never seen anything like the love for things like bodybuilding, and everyone wants to wait. There's, like he said, there's supplement stores on every street corner.
It is, huh?
He said, like he said the amount of, supplement stores and gyms. He said it's he said he did a seminar, and he said it was like he was like a rock star turning up the place. He said there was big, like these big, these big billboards, the electric ones with his name flashing. Wow. And he said I was treated like a film star, Giles. He said we had security, and this is like
so cool. Yeah,
I love hearing stuff like that. I love hearing.
What happened to that guy? He coached Bruno Moraes from Brazil, the huge guy.
Oh, he's amazing, huge. He was supposed to compete last year and he didn't, and I still see him on Instagram, and he did a thing where he painted himself green and he went to Children's Hospital. So basically, because he looks
like the Hulk, Incredible Hulk,
yeah. So, and obviously I was seeing if you look on his Bruno Moraes Instagram, he's can you find him? Bruno Moraes, Bruno M-O, is that him there? Yeah, Bruno Moraes official, this guy here. See if you can find the Hulk picture. There he is. Look at that.
Oh.
786,000 followers. That's more than you, AJ.
Where's the one with the green? You made it up.
Also, separately, can you stop following AJ, please, on Instagram? Because he's doubling my Instagram followers. And
there goes. Oh, he looks good.
And I'm not happy about it.
There it is.
There you are. Look, that was in a children's hospital. So that is very
with a
cool.
female coming up, of course, no children.
Well, there's one. I've seen videos of him, and the kids are like reacting, and they're going nuts.
See, the girls like him too, huh? Obviously, when you look like that.
Yeah, awesome.
He looks really tough and cool, huh?
It was a Wonder Woman there next to him. So yeah, there he is. Look, look at this one. The one above. The one above. Hey, play that one. Play that one. Can you play that one? Yeah, look. Look at this. That is an awesome. What do you think? What do you think, Chris?
Class.
It's cool, isn't it?
That's cool. Seems to have a great personality, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot of people coming up.
Yeah, on our special episode. So, episode.
AJ, did you forget something?
What has he forgotten?
What did I forget?
You were going to mention about something about some swearing or something like that.
Zach Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Chris.
Yes.
Political show.
Oh, okay.
Because Zach Khan, sadly, they banned him from Instagram. And I told him, Zach, your opinions are epic. We need to put you and Chris produce the studio. Listen to this, Chris. You produce this, like here. He comes here because Chris also makes the videos for Zach Khan, IPB Pro. Mm-hmm. And Zach Khan has been more vocal lately on political issues. And that's why they dropped him from Instagram.
Right.
Can you imagine a bodybuilder? You know those shows you watch?
Would YouTube take it down, though?
You know those shows you watch at home?
We just host it ourselves. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you imagine Zach Khan sitting there interviewing somebody on the opposition, and Chris produces it?
Yeah.
How that will get tons of views.
I think that would probably do.
Can
quite
you
well.
imagine?
Yeah.
Might struggle for a sponsor though.
Well, he's got his own supplement range. He can sponsor himself.
Can you imagine? And we invite like Bruce Jenner to sit down here.
Oh
and
no!
Zach can go crazy. Chris? Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
It would. It would be good.
It would certainly be
interesting.
worth.
Would it be interesting?
It would certainly be interesting.
I will. Yeah. It'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
It would be.
Chris, are you down for it?
Okay, AJ.
We'll have a chat. Let's wrap up and get on to a break.
AJ,
No.
we had to have a pose down with you on that medal, mate.
Oh, man. Can you imagine how happy you are if you won Mr. Olympia? Can you imagine standing there and they call out your name?
Do you know?
Giles, Mr. Olympia. And you come off.
Hang on,
and
I'm
you're
just going to visualize
and
it.
you'll just get as the best built man of that year in the world. Can't get any better, man.
No. Yeah, I'm just visualizing it in my head now.
Let people think about that when we end it.
Yeah. And we out.
And we out.
Okay, then we'll make sure
We are out, aren't we?
No, we're going to go to a commercial break and we'll be back with our very special guest, Derek Lunsford. So make sure you check that out momentarily. And we are out. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Media Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway, and we are joined by Derek Lunsford. Yeah, give a round of applause. Come on.
Thank you guys so much. I've been waiting on this interview. I was hoping you'd get a hold of me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you've always been very professional and very easy to reach out to and get a hold of. I mean, with my other show, Muscle News Weekly, you've always been very prompt, and this is something I really like with when dealing with the IFBB professionals. So I got to thank you for that, mate.
Hey, thank you. I mean, you hit it nail on the head, though. Like, we're professionals first, right?
Yes.
So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. So obviously we're here into the off season now. How's your off season been going? Because you've been posting pictures like December, January, and I think Flex Lewis said to me, he says, "When is he going to get fat?" He's just not. He's not.
Oh, I put on some fluff. Don't worry, I've got some fluff. Training is going very well. So I'll take you back. Right after Christmas, my girlfriend, as of 8 years this week, we went to the Philippines where she grew up for New Year's. And we spent like 2 weeks there. I visited the rest of her family that I haven't met. And that whole trip in itself was like, it was mind blowing. It was, if you've ever been to like a third world country like that, it will change your perspective on life instantly. Matter of fact, I was there. I was excited to be there. I asked to visit where she grew up. And after 2 or 3 days, I was actually about to look for a flight back because I couldn't. It was so bad. I couldn't almost couldn't handle it. But I felt so. What's that? Go ahead.
Which city was this? Because I've been to the Philippines. Where in the Philippines?
It was Cebu, but there was like little ghettos even in the big city where she grew up. And at the end of the 2 weeks, I was so happy I went. It was lifelong memories, and you can see the happiness on the kids' faces. I don't know if you saw my Instagram post where we gave food back to the kids where she grew up, and you could just see the happiness on the kids' faces, and like that just made my whole trip. And but anyway, so that was amazing, and I can't wait to go back now. But in that time, I was not training, I was not eating right, I was just totally doing nothing bodybuilding, and it was a great break mentally and physically, and I actually got like super sick right before I came back. So it was the worst sickness I've ever had in my life. I don't know what I had. It must have been some flu because it was like flu symptoms, but it was ongoing for like 2 weeks. And I was pretty much bedridden. I was like maybe awake for like 6 hours in the day and still laying in bed for like 2 weeks. So for over a month, I was non-existent from the gym and bodybuilding. So I took update pictures and I sent it to my coach, and I was weighing about 230 pounds. And me and him go, all right, it's time for like a good off season and getting back on the plan and crushing it. And that the update pictures and knowing that I dropped a little weight and I'd been out of the gym, I was so motivated to get back. I went from 230 to 252.
252.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
in like
shit.
about 3.5 to 4 weeks.
Oh wow. So
that's why you just like I looked okay in some of my pictures I posted a few weeks ago, but I had like so much bloat and water just from implementing that because I couldn't eat while I was sick. I ate maybe 300 calories a day. Like it was awful. I was forcing food down and I couldn't eat. But so once I actually felt good, I got back on like a meal plan. My body just went and it exploded. And then so I was like, okay, little over 250 is like too much. Like I was like, man, like I'm feeling heavy, and I was like, this is actually a little bit too much for me. So I backed it off about 4 or 5 pounds, and that's where I'm sitting, anywhere from 247 to 250 in the morning. But I feel phenomenal now. So,
I mean, I've seen pictures of you in condition at around 220. I mean, I think that for me, the most impressive pictures of you last year were about 4 weeks out with that. I like the mug.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Really, I love it. Yeah, I was because I was kind of saying in my MD column, I was saying, maybe Derek should maybe try doing like an open show because this guy is ready at 220, 225. Like your upper body, everything was just popping and full.
You got to win the 212 Olympia first.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, like.
Sorry, I totally derailed me there, mate.
No, but come on.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, that's absolutely my plan is to focus on the 212. But going back to what you said, Giles, you're 100% right. At 3 or 4 weeks out, man, I still have the pictures. I look back on that and I'm thinking to myself, I think for myself and for all the fans, I would have loved to have seen what I was at like 222 to 225 at 3-4 weeks out. That would have been an amazing battle between me and Flex, even more than it already was.
Yes.
But it kind of seemed like I took a nosedive at the end. Not that, we've discussed this before. We all have our opinions. I think it was definitely a well-deserved second. I don't deny that Flex was the champ, right? But for me, looking back, I was a bit off. And yet it was still a well-deserved second, in my opinion. And but this year we know that, like, because I picked up training 4 weeks out. We decided that because I was training at the time with Ben Pakulski, and he was pushing me hard. And at 4 weeks out, I remember he said, "Okay, now it's go time. Now we're going to progress in the show. We're going to get stronger. We're going to train longer and harder and more." And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, I don't always know if more is better, even in training, right? I'm thinking when you're ready, maybe you should just do what's necessary to get to the show. And I think at that point, I don't know if it's my age or what it is, or if it's just my body, but I think that pushing harder at the end, I could have maybe backed off a little bit.
Yeah.
And better, fresher.
Derek, that actually makes sense.
Like the whole prep. The whole prep went great. And I'm very, very, very thankful for everything last year. I don't regret anything because I know how hard I pushed myself last year. And I know what I expected from myself last year. And it was a huge learning experience. So I do not regret anything whatsoever. But I'm going to take what I learned last year and implement it into what I think is optimal for this year.
I saw you. I remember you having your food with your coach just after you'd weighed in at the Olympia. I got some pictures you put mustard on your chicken and everything. And I think I completely. Normally I'm pretty good with this. I completely forgot what you said you weighed in at. That was on the Thursday night, wasn't it? What was it?
The mustard stuff's one thing I'm probably gonna not do this year. Also,
so tomato sauce and ketchup.
No, it worked out fine in the past, but I think that might have been part of it too. So anyway, we discussed things. But yeah, I weighed in right on the money, 212 or just under. But the thing is on stage, the next few hours, my weight kept dropping.
It was dropping.
So I was as low as 207.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the things that we talked about too. I was like, man, weight's not the end all be all, but when you go from barely making the 212 and the next thing you know, 10 hours later, you're 5 pounds lighter, 4 or 5 pounds, that doesn't sound like how it should go, right?
Sorry, Derek, was that cutting water that did that?
No, I had to cut the water to make weight.
Oh, right. Okay. So I'm just trying to work out, because you maybe sit perfectly at around, like by the time you'd be on stage, you might have been around maybe 215, 216, like a lot of the guys do. Like we're talking to George Peterson last week, and he was saying by the time he'd weighed in for the Classic and by the time he was on stage, he was 8 pounds heavier, because he has to really, like yourself, you have to struggle to make the weight limit.
Yeah, that was my anticipation from 2017 to 2018, that I would be about 215 on stage. Because when I was a middleweight, I weighed in at 176, and I was about 180 to 182 on stage. Yeah. So, I mean, we've been through this process before of making a weight, sucking down and then filling out. And, like I said, me and James Brown, my coach, we discussed it, and there was things we could have done differently at the end. And we're going to make those changes and maybe be even a little more aggressive with the, drying out process, and also maybe filling up a little bit more too, because I think he was trying to be a bit conservative all around. Making sure that we didn't overspill for prejudging and then come in on or even be on point for prejudging, but then spill over for Saturday. Yeah. So
your condition was fantastic, but I just felt like you'd lost, from what I'd seen at 4 weeks out, you'd lost a little bit of fullness around the chest and the shoulders, which I thought, oh no, this is not the best version I think we maybe expected. But to still get second place,
at what age?
At 25 years old.
24 last year? Was
25.
I was 24 my first Olympia.
Okay.
Crazy.
25 this year, or last year, 2020.
Let's go back to the first time I saw you. It was a picture of you from the NPC USA in July 2017. And Ron Harris put it on his Facebook, and I just saw this front double bicep, and the first thing I said, I messaged Ron, and I said, Ron, I want to see that front double bicep next to Flex Lewis. That is what I want to see. A week later, I was out in Tampa because my partner Rosie was doing the women's physique. I saw you there. You won that one, and you beat guys like Samuel Haddad. What was the guy who came second, the new pro, who also turned pro at the
Jacob Wilson.
You beat him, and yes, and the Tampa is probably it's the last qualifier. It's one of the toughest qualifiers, right. And I was like, shit, this is a week later. Then you went to the Olympia, took 5th place, and also you won, because I checked with Bob Chick a few weeks later, and I said, Bob, did Derek win the Rookie of the Year award? And all he texts back was, yeah, Giles, he won it by he won it by a landslide.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then obviously at the wrap up, sorry, I'll wrap up now. And the wrap up with Ron Harris, I said, I was talking about how impressed I was with you, because this newcomer had just completely smashed the Olympia, won his first pro show, and that I said, I do believe he will be the next 212 Mr. Olympia. So
yeah, I know. I still watch that interview every once in a while.
Fantastic.
So now I have to do what it takes to earn that. I mean, I have a lot of people behind me, supporting me, but I let them know, hey, I'm not the champ yet. No way. I still have to earn that title, man. And I want to earn it. I want to do what it takes to earn it. I don't want it to be given to me. So that's what I'm doing, every single day, whether it be in the gym or getting out to. I was just at the men's wheelchair nationals that Cynthia James put on last weekend. Mm-hmm. By the way, that's another great thing to be a part of. I was very thankful she allowed me to come down and be a part of it and say a couple words on stage. But I'm telling you what. Those men's wheelchair guys, they're no joke, man. Have you seen some of them?
Yeah.
Harold Kelly?
Harold Kelly at Arnold now?
Yeah, won the Arnold.
Impressive.
I was literally like, I don't even want to take a picture of this guy because he's going to make me look bad.
No.
He's awesome. Harold Kelly is awesome. And I remember I was backstage, Ron was interviewing him at the Arnold Classic last year when he won that. I mean, he's winning everything. Right, and he was just in a t-shirt, and I was looking at the roundness of his shoulders, and I was just thinking,
he's nuts, man. Dude, I know. But anyway, those were the happiest competitors, most excited guys I've ever seen on stage. I ain't just saying that. And like, I when I went up on stage to say a few words or whatever, I had a couple bullet points in my head, or I actually wrote them down. Like, maybe I'll say, these bullet points. I literally just ripped it up and I go, no, and I just spoke from the heart like I normally do. This is the first time I actually wrote something down, and then I was like, man, like. These guys motivate the hell out of me. Like, if you would have saw their posing routines, like they were just like pumping up the crowd, like, come on, it was awesome, man.
Have you seen the way they support each other as well? Because I was watching this at the Arnold Classic, and there was the way they kind of shout encouragement when they're kind of in the lineup and they're being called out, and they're all just rooting for each other. It's fantastic to see.
And to hear their story, whether it was something they were born with or whether it be an accident or something, man, like I talked to each one of them, and it was just like I was like sitting there listening, focused and zoning in on what they were saying the whole time, and like drawing inspiration from them. But anyway, it was awesome experience. If you get a chance to be a part of like a men's wheelchair bodybuilding show, you should definitely go to that. But yeah, the big show was last weekend down in West Palm that Cynthia James put on. But anyway, I got a little sidetracked there. I think I just I got excited from the weekend. But
how have you been? What can I say? This Olympia that was now, that you just were in. You had some. Your fellow 212 guys are jealous of you. Yeah.
I know.
You know, how do you react to that? Like, is that something you think about? Is that something you feel happy about? Because it's also a compliment when all these older guys are jealous of you. Because they are jealous of you, you know?
Yeah, I know.
How do you react to that?
No, great question. I'm glad that you brought that up, actually. No, it's not something that I like, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why in a minute. But going back to when I when I was an amateur, I would see guys that I looked up to, whether it be like Jose Raymond or whoever, like, because Jose is very, very out there. He does a lot for the amateurs, not just on the pro level. He's always at these national shows and stuff. So Jose was a guy I looked up to since before the first time I ever competed. He was like, him and Jay Cutler were the two guys that I looked up to the most. Mm-hmm. So anyway, as an amateur, I remember at 2016 USA's, I ended up placing second in the middleweight. Jose had some really great words to say to me, when I came out in the crowd, and it was just like I took that to heart, and I loved. I worked my ass off for the next year to thinking about what he said, and to earn that title. But anyway, he was very encouraging of me when I turned pro. They were all very, very encouraging of me. I went to the Olympia. I remember being backstage for check-ins, weigh-ins. Flex was like, congratulations, welcome, and they were all very, very welcoming of me. And I was like, oh my God, like this is what I was dreaming of my whole life. Since I started bodybuilding, I thought, man, when I get to that level, because I believed in myself that I would get to that level, I was like, man, I hope I can establish like a great relationship with all these guys. And that's what I felt right away. Well, then after the 2017 Olympia went by, I think what really struck a chord was I made a post one time, and you guys probably remember. It was of a front double bicep shot at the 2017 Olympia. And without thinking, all I thought about was I seen another person post something that said, who wins this shot? And it was the same thing, literally the same post. And it was but instead it was me with like Ahmad Ashkenani, Flex. It might have been just us three, but then also I know Jose was in that picture too at some point. But anyway, I said, who wins this shot? And it was just something I posted to get people excited, like, whatever. It had nothing to do with should I win this show or anything like that. Like, dude, I was just happy to be there. So anyway, I made that post, and that really struck a chord with those guys. And I remember I got a lot of backlash for that. And that's when everything kind of started taking a turn the other way. But now let's go back to being on stage at the 2017 Olympia. If those guys recall, and they should recall, every single person, David Henry, Ahmad, Jose, Flex, each one of those guys that were in the top 5, including myself, when we were at finals, 2017 Olympia, it was done. We posed down. I shook each one of their hands, gave each one a hug, and I said to each one, thank you for making my dreams come true. Even though I knew I worked to get there, me and my coach worked to get there, they were still on stage, and it was like a dream come true that I was on stage with those guys. It's something I had thought about for many years, right? So anyway, now fast forward, I make that post. They're frustrated a little bit, and I'm gaining confidence. Not an ego boost, but just knowing, hey, I know my place now with these guys in the top 5. I'm going to bust my ass to be my very best next year. I'm going to make huge improvements, which I believe that I did. Again, going to 2018 Olympia, the last couple of weeks, we didn't peak properly, but I was making crazy improvements throughout the off season between 2017 and 2018. I was doing my best to get on interviews like this or whatever. And that's the thing, is that more pros need to be doing things like this.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, because the only way that bodybuilding is going to continue to thrive is to use the media, and that's especially the bodybuilding media, muscular development, whatnot, all your platforms. Matter of fact, I'm actually doing another interview next week too with
nice one.
Beast Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
So they've been good.
Well, Derek, you and I have talked, many times, because I always, when I cite the kind of easiest guys to work with that get back to you straight away. I asked you, I think the last update you sent me from Must News Weekly, I think you sent it within an hour, and then you apologized for it being so late. And it's like, mate, that's pretty much as prompt as I need it to be.
Yeah. So I try to do my best, to do it right then and there. And if like I was, I wouldn't say I was waiting for you to get a hold of me, but as soon as you asked me, I was like, yes, yes, I will be on your show.
Yeah.
So that's why I think more bodybuilders need to do that and express themselves and be genuine and say, hey, I'm coming for this title. I'm coming to challenge Derek. Like, Derek has supporters, but you know what? I don't care. I'm coming. I'm going to be my best to challenge him. I love that. That's awesome. Because that motivates me, because I'm going to go, I don't think so, pal. So, but the thing is when it becomes truly disrespectful, and unprofessional, that's not good. I'm not going to be a part of that. And that kind of happened last year too. It seemed to be where I kind of got drugged into that. Yeah. And I was doing my best to not be a part of it, right? Because that's not something I believe in. I believe in challenging each other and building hype for a show and stuff. That's what we need. We need to be professional first. But yeah, I think once this year at the Olympia, I ended up placing second. I think that there was some people that felt indifferent about it. And I think it was mostly because, you'd seen the top guys placing how they did year after year after year, and it became like routine. I think everybody kind of got, complacent with their so-called role in the 212. And me, Ahmad, and, Kamal, a couple guys, hey, we're here to challenge that, man. Like, not because we don't respect you, we don't love you, and I still put these guys on a pedestal. I still look up to Jose. I was messaging Flex the other day. Like, I still look up to these guys. Like, I want to still learn from them. But, I understand that they got their own things going on, and now it's my turn to figure things out too. The thing is, to answer your question, though, it truly can be disappointing sometimes when, I was hoping we could not go through the jealousy and that kind of stuff that's been going on, and I was hoping that could, instead of that, actually get more guidance on how to be the best professional bodybuilder I can be. To if I could step in that role as the champ, then I want to be the best I can be at it, right? Or whatever, at any level of a professional, I want to be the best I can be at it. And if I can get guidance from the guys who've done it in the past, please, I want that. I want your guidance, and I want it to be honest and genuine. But that jealousy can sometimes get in the way, and that there is unfortunate, coming from me. However, look, I have a different perspective at this stage of my life and today. I'm, just now coming into it, whereas these guys have been around for a while. So I can see where it could be frustrating. So a new guy coming in and challenging, them. But
do you think it's more intense though before a show? Because it's like when, say, I've spoke to Shawn Ray and Dorian and Flex Wheeler, and they said, when they were competing against each other, they really had issues with each other. They really they really fixated on each other. And now they've stopped competing. They're all the kind of best of friends. And it's right. like guys pre-contest, everything's tense, and they're scrolling through social media, and they're on low carbs and they're dieting, and then after the show, they've got a bit of carbs in them, they're all bloody happy again, and they all love each other again.
It's probably because maybe they don't truly believe it, but it's the honest to God truth. I don't that's what I want. I just want a solid relationship with these guys, whether we compete or not compete, because me having a positive relationship with someone else does not affect my bodybuilding. If we have a negative relationship with each other, it does not affect my bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I am only focused on me. I've said that many, many times, and I really, really stand behind that. The only thing that I just don't like is that when you're unprofessional and you're kind of doing things very disrespectfully, outright. Like there's times where people have felt that I was disrespectful, and if I could. If I was that way, I would apologize for it. And I've even said that to them sometimes. Like, if I was, I didn't mean to be. So if you felt that way, I'm sorry, whatever. But at the same time, I never, intentionally try to disrespect someone. So other than that, if you tell me, hey, I'm coming for that 212 title, awesome, let's go. You know what I mean? That's what we got to have, right?
Yeah.
We got to have a lot of hungry guys, and I know we have a lot of hungry guys. That's what I sent you the last time. I've been seeing these guys training and stuff. I know what they're doing. It makes me step up my game, right? And it makes a better Olympia competition. And that's what we have this year.
I just want to ask one question I've been thinking about. When I watched the Mr. Olympia 2018 contest. What were you thinking? The most awful moment when Dwayne Quamina, when the whole thing was finished, and when it come, what were you thinking then? At the end with Bob Ciccarello.
Right. Well, there was a lot of build. Yeah, there was a lot of build to that.
I know what.
With the social media, and like I said, I was not trying to get drug into it. To be fair with you, just to be straight up, he'd message me sometimes. He's even called me before. And it's, at one time it's like, like being very nice to me. And then the next moment, 10 minutes later, it's a post that's like just totally unprofessional.
Did you?
I told him a couple months out, I said, I'm not going to be responding to I know you're going to continue to post things, and I don't believe in that. And I'm not going to respond no matter what you say. I'm not going to be a part of this, good or bad.
He did. Sorry, go on.
Sorry. At the Olympia, I seen it coming. He was sitting in the front row, right there.
I love Dwayne.
Man, we knew something was coming, especially the year before. Like, come on, we knew the year before. One of the men's physique guys did the same thing, and
I remember.
We all just thought this is ridiculous. Like, that's not appropriate. That's not what we need. This is not Jerry Springer, and that's not what we should be striving for. And if you go back to the video, the first person that just ends it, Phil Heath just stands up and then Bob Chick was like, are you gonna like say something like appropriate? And they just shut the mic off. So it was like he gets there and then tries to do something, pull something out of his head to like stir a riot. And then instantly it's just done. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why would you do that? Like, why would you make yourself look bad? I've said it, like, I wanted him, like, he's a good bodybuilder, right? Like,
great bodybuilder.
Yeah, he's a good bodybuilder. And I told him that. I'm like, why do you got to go out unprofessionally?
You should look at it as a compliment, because it means that he knew, because nobody knew Dwayne Quamina before this. Well, I won't say nobody knew, but after he started that with that picture on your Instagram and the back and forth with you.
So it depends on how you want to go about your business.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you want to do things professionally and, in my opinion, the right way, you don't do things like that. But you're right. He did get a lot of exposure, and but the thing is, for me, is if I was that way. That bad exposure to me is not good exposure. Some people say exposure is exposure, and that's all that matters. But to me, if it was something like that, I don't want to be known for that, man. And truthfully, I don't think that. I really don't think you're going to see as much of that from him anymore. I really don't.
He's changed a lot.
Hang on. In fairness, I really like Dwayne. He's been great with sending me updates for my show. And he actually put an update in Muscle News Weekly a few episodes ago. And he says, hey, time to reflect now. And after the show, and he says, looking back, he said, I tried an approach last year. I can't remember the exact words he says, but basically, he said, I've learned that it kind of bit me on the ass. He says, and I've kind of learned from that. So moving forward, I'm going to do less of that. So I think it was something tactical. I think he tried, and it did kind of work for him in a way. In some ways, it didn't. But I think moving forward, like you said, I think he's gonna try a new approach. And I think he's gonna let his physique do the talking this year, because, like you said, he is very, very good, and he's probably going to be in the top 6 this year, because I think he's fantastic.
to be fair, a lot of people said because of how he acted, he got overlooked.
No.
I have to put my hand on my heart and say I really don't think he did. He's a great bodybuilder, but I mean, I think he landed right about where he should have last year. Truthfully,
he was 10th, and I thought that was fair, and he looks good. But for me,
I thought he was 8th.
No, he was 10th place.
I think he could be a little bit higher.
No, 10th place.
No, he was 10th.
Ricardo was 8th place. Sean Ricardo was 7th place.
That's right. Yeah. I knew 8 to 10 is about where you could argue, right? I would say.
But he looked fantastic. He looked good. But he's certainly one for the future. He's certainly one who's going to be. He's like yourself. He put a lot of size on very quickly. Went from middleweight to, he's kind of gained this muscle very fast. So he's kind of just found himself as a top 10 212 guy, kind of almost overnight. And I think he's trying to find his way. But I think his intentions are good. Like I said, I think he tried something, and I think it backfired.
I mean, he got a lot of exposure because of it, but it wasn't good exposure. So, I mean, if you take it as, hey, any exposure is good, well, then he won, right? Yeah. With that. But for me, I don't want that, man. I want to take my approach. I want to take the platform that I have in bodybuilding and do something like positive with it. That's always been like a dream of mine, to do something positive with.
I get that impression from you.
Yeah.
Always have.
What's that?
I've always got that impression from you. You've always come across with. You've always really tried to push that standpoint.
Right. I mean, because, okay, I've said this a few times lately. Let's look about this in the grand scheme of life, okay? Now we're getting a little deep here. But the grand scheme of life, how significant is my physique and how I build it to you? None.
Yeah.
0. It does not matter. My body does not affect your body or how you think of me or anything, right? Right? It has no effect on you. But if I can use this bodybuilding platform of, building my physique up to do something positive in the world, then it makes a great difference.
Plus, sorry, go on.
One more thing out. And at the end, as an Olympia competitor, we have to realize you, whether you like it or not, you are making an impact on people's lives. Yeah. It's either positive or negative, one or the other. But you have to choose. Is it going to be a positive message or a negative message? But you are making an impact on people's lives. And if you can make a positive impact, I mean, dude, you're doing something like that 99% of people around the world can't do. And I'm not talking about build your physique up. I'm talking about making a positive impact.
Yeah. The thing is, if you have a physique and a bad attitude, as soon as you've kind of stop competing or whatever, your kind of impact on the world or whatever you want to call it is gone, because muscle is transient, your physique is transient. It's here, it's gone. It's like money. It can be here, it's gone. So if you actually use that opportunity while you're using your physique to kind of elevate and put yourself out there, if you want to spread a decent message, then long after you finish competing, you'll still be, I hate the word relevant, but you'll still be able to make a good positive impact on people's lives, and that will come back on you.
Totally. Because I always say this, I'm like, well, no, you're right. That's the thing. That's something I have to keep at the forefront of like my focus. No, seriously, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
No, I always say this. It's not if like I'm done bodybuilding one day. It goes when I'm done bodybuilding one day. Because there's going to be one day that you guys retire and you're done from MD, maybe, right? I mean, you won't, so. Not if, but when the time is done, then what? And what did you do during that time? Right?
Is that something?
I mean, yeah.
Going to the Philippines, did you think more about those type of things, or after?
Oh, totally. Yeah. And because what I got the most out of it for myself was appreciation and realizing that there's not everybody around the world that gets the opportunity to live the life and have a career like I have, right? So, most of the Philippines or these, countries, I went to South Africa too, these countries, most of the people don't have opportunity even if they want it, but they want it. They want to strive so badly to go to school and make something of themselves, but they can't. I won't say his name, but it's one of my girlfriend's cousins. I said, hey, he's 21. I said, what do you want to do in your life? Like, what do you want to do? What do you aspire to be and stuff? And that's a tough question to really ask someone from the Philippines because, like I said, no opportunity. But he said, he said Kuya, which is brother in Tagalog. He said Kuya. He goes, I just wanna go to school, finish school, and go into law enforcement and be something good, something great in our society, right? In law enforcement. The thing is, he's 21 years old and hasn't finished high school because, not that he doesn't want to, he has to carry the pig from his home that he takes care of in the morning, and he has to carry it to the meat market to sell for his mother.
Wow.
Right. I mean, like a kid that wants, or I mean, he's a man now. He's 21 years old, can't even finish high school, but wants to go to college so badly, and can't have the opportunity to do that. So I'm sitting over here going, I have the opportunity to do something great around this world. I better freaking do it.
Yeah.
That's like almost disrespectful and a smack in the face if I don't.
Yeah.
To people that don't have opportunity, when we do, especially like myself living and growing up in America, or where you guys are from. So it's like, we better take advantage of the opportunity we have because not everybody gets it. Yeah. That's what I got the most out of it.
Fantastic. Derek, talking about the impact you have on people's lives. I won't mention the guy's name, but obviously you've been reaching out to a Facebook friend of mine. He was commenting on some of the stuff, and he was telling me how much he loves you. He's just like, love Derek Lunsford.
The friend you told me?
Yeah. You reached out. I asked you, and you reached out to him, and you sent him some lovely messages. This guy, he's got a lot going for him. He's engaged. He's getting married. But he's suffered from very bad anorexia.
Okay.
And I kind of I was messaging back and forth, and Derek sent a couple of messages, and it meant the world to him.
Yeah, I saw that. I think you showed me.
Honestly, meant the world to him, and he says, do you know what, Giles? He says, you and Derek, he said, have given me more support from my because he's in like it's like a psychological group where he's trying to overcome it because it's a mental health issue.
Of course, when Derek reaches out,
and Derek and he said, honestly, Giles, he said, if it wasn't for you and Derek, he said it's made a huge impact and it's been the turning point.
Oh,
so. And I said to Derek, I said, Derek, would you mind? I said, it would mean the world to me if you said. And Derek sent this really long message, a few messages, and it honestly, this is someone you've never met, but yet, like he's been messaging me this morning, saying, he said, I wish it was live. I want to watch it live. I said, you're gonna have to wait a while a few days for it to come out. But so I've got to thank you personally for that because just the fact that you made just that little, gesture, that it meant the world to someone that because things like anorexia, it can kill people. It's a very serious condition. So I want to thank you personally for that.
No, thank you. I love stuff like that because that's what I'm talking about. That's an opportunity to do something great, right? To me, I'm just Derek and I'm a bodybuilder, right? To my family, I'm just Derek. But to some people, like they draw inspiration from what I do and things.
100%.
And so it's like when I have an opportunity, I love that. So I'm so thankful you reached out to me. And actually, we've messaged several times since then. Nice. And kind of what I was saying to him was, I feel for the guy and things that he's been through and stuff. But I also kind of let him know too, like, hey, we can either sit here and go, oh, poor me, and it wasn't like that direct. I don't want to say like it wasn't like, oh, pity yourself, nothing like that. But I said, basically gave him motivation. It's like, you can do one or the other. You can say, pity me and say, I have so many problems. Or it's like, hey, I'm gonna man up and we're gonna crush this. We're not gonna let this get to me. And it was kind of like a message like that I sent him. And instead of just saying, I'm so sorry. And then he, and since then we've messaged several times. He's like, man, I've been crushing it. I've been on my diet and I love it.
He's back, Derek. He's back training.
Awesome.
He's been sending me pictures of the food he's been eating. He says, I wouldn't have done this before. He says, and it's just that little spark that kind of gave him enough confidence to kind of tackle it. I even got him reading Dr. Jordan Peterson as well. He's got the book, and it's just little things like that. Just making a little bit of effort. And it's you've probably, like I said, right. you were a huge turning point in someone's life that was kind of going through hell, So it's fantastic. I really appreciate it.
And another thing too, I refrain from mentioning stories like this, but I was at the Arnold, and there was a gentleman who he was in the military. He had like PTSD or whatever, and he's actually a bodybuilder. He competes and things, and he came up to me, and he actually created a new I forget what it's called, but it's like a community of like military men, vets who want to train and things.
Okay.
And when I'm talking like he has PTSD, he has some very, very serious like potentially fatal side effects from this, and seizures and things. And
physically, you mean, not just mentally?
Physically and mentally, very, very, very bad. And he has, So he came up to me at the Arnold and he said, Derek, like because I told him, I was like, keep doing your thing. Because when I was seeing him at a show, so he decided to compete again and continue to compete. And he was like, this would not have happened if you had not told me, like backstage, he goes, if you would not have told me to keep doing what I'm doing, that this would have existed. I go, oh my God. Like,
fantastic.
Little thing to the guy, like, I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. You're inspiring many people. I said something along that line very briefly. And he has created this huge foundation and back from like around my hometown where it's like, oh my God, and he was like, you were like an inspiration for me to create this huge thing. I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
That's incredible.
And and listening to how he speaks, he's only 25.
25.
You're very reflected to be 25-year-old. Right?
I was an idiot when I was 25.
Thank you.
You're but like it's like
Chris says I still am.
But it's like speaking to an older person with Derek. Huh?
I know. I think sometimes is he reading off a script or someone 25 can't be this smart?
It's funny because Giles messaged me the other day, AJ, and he was like, hey, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 25. I'll be 26 in May. I didn't hear back from him for like a couple hours.
I fainted.
And he messaged me. He goes, I had to message someone else to make sure you weren't lying to me.
No, I remember Goon and me.
No, it was Ron Harris I messaged.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, Giles, he's 25. I was like, I thought he was lying.
As soon as Goon showed me Derek the first time, I put the pic. You know when you had like a Superman outfit, like a Captain America outfit on or whatever. What is it? What was it again?
Which one?
You had a photo shoot with a Captain America or something with you. You were like a superhero.
I've not seen this.
Remember that?
No, I don't remember that. Are you sure that was me or was?
Yeah. It was you.
You sure it wasn't Dwayne?
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna post. No, Dwayne. No. Didn't you do like American like a superhero pictures or something like that?
I never did any like superhero stuff, but I have had a couple photographers like edit to where it looks like I was like a superhero or something.
Yeah, and me and Goon were like going crazy.
No. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
No, I recall. That was way back in 2016 after Junior National.
Oh, you looked fantastic. It was like
picture, right?
Yeah. Like Zac Efron started bodybuilding, I said.
Yeah, I forget who the photographer was. I don't remember. But yeah, that was the picture. Yeah.
One question I think a lot of fans want to know. Remember when you got second place and you and Flex were hugging on stage? Flex was really, really talking in your ear.
And somebody asked that. He didn't want to tell it that time.
And a lot of people have always speculated on the forums, on social media. They say, what was Flex saying to him?
Yeah, tell us.
Come on, tell us.
All right, you want me to really tell you?
Yeah,
100%.
please.
Come on. I've squared it with Flex.
He looks at me and says, good luck next year, you loser. No, he didn't say that. No, to be honest, I'm going to keep that one to myself.
Okay, fair enough. No, I thought you might do that. That's fair enough. That's
somebody
personal.
asked that question before, and he didn't want to answer it. So that's why I'm going to be surprised to see if you're going to answer it now.
No, I appreciate that. I wish I could, but it just was so special to me. It was just like, I knew that was like one thing that I could just keep to myself and know and
Respect.
But...
Okay,
yeah.
Well, if you remember, I interviewed you at the Meet the Olympians on the Thursday night at the Olympia last year, and I asked you a question, and it kind of resonated with you because I said, I definitely think since you moved to Florida to train with Ben Pakulski, I said you seem to have become a product of your environment.
Right.
Because you really stepped up, not just in your physique, but in your whole attitude, your mentality, and you seem to be someone that like really has raised his game since you moved. Sorry, where did you move from?
Right. So I'm from Indiana, born and raised. I lived there, my whole life.
Yeah.
I went to school there, Indiana State. And I knew, look, I can bodybuild anywhere. And I'm proud to come from Indiana. But two things. One, I knew if I wanted to progress in my career, I wanted to be around someone that could push me and elevate me as a person and as a bodybuilder. So I wanted to be around a community of people because Tampa in itself is a huge community of bodybuilders and Florida. But it was also a dream of mine to move to Florida. I love this state. I've always wanted to move here, and every time that I come back from traveling, I am just so happy to be here. Like, you know, when you just fall in love with something and like it's just meant to be. It's just supposed to, you're where you're supposed to be. That's how I feel here.
Yeah.
Or at least right now in my life. So whether it be training with Ben or whatever, I love being here, and I'm like a happier, better me because of it.
So you took to the place straight away. Straight away, you were like, yeah, this is where I need to be.
So yes, absolutely. So I've always kind of said, like, every year around, especially around like the January, February time when the weather's terrible in Indiana, it's bipolar. It's like single digits and snowing, and then 2 days later it's 70s.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I'm over that. So I was like, okay, time to make a move. Ben invited me down. This was my sign, and I took it. And yeah, like I said, I'm a better me because of this, and I'm definitely a better bodybuilder. As far as training with Ben, so he's a very busy guy, and he's got a lot of things going on. He's got a lot of businesses. I'm still training at MI40 currently, but as far as like for the Olympia, I'm not so sure that he and I will be teaming up like daily like we was last year. Okay. But I'm definitely going to be implementing everything that he taught me into my own style of training. And I think that's going to make for a much better package this year. I'm so thankful for what him bringing me down and teaching me, training with me, and whether it be certain techniques or whether it be like just pushing me hard, I elevated my bodybuilding physique to another level, mentally and physically. So I'm pumped and excited and thankful for all that he did for me. This time, like I said, my girl of 8 years, she's going to grad school back in Indiana to be a physical therapist. So she's doctor of physical therapy is her graduate program, and she's about a year into it now. So when I moved here, she started her program back in Indiana. So we in 2 different states.
How often do you see each other? How often do you see each other?
Well, I have her fly down every couple weeks, or like maybe I'll go see her or something. But this year she'll be down with me doing clinicals this summer, so it'll be a bit better. But yeah, Ron Harris is always like, God bless you guys.
Yeah.
Being a part. I mean, it's tough, but she's so focused and driven, and I'm so focused and driven to where like it's hard to like put time and effort into a relationship. At the end of the day, because you're just so focused on your career. So, but it works. Are you
two getting married? Come on. He's probably like, oh God, not this question again.
I have heard that so many times. We're very serious. I haven't proposed or anything, but we are very serious.
So 8 years you've been together since you were 17.
Yeah, right before I turned 18. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive.
I told my buddy, it was right before I graduated high school. I told my buddy in high school, I said, hey, no girls till after college. A week later, I met her.
Sod law. Yeah. So let's go talk about the Olympia last year. So what was that like competing and moving up from 5th to 2nd and having the going up against an all-time best Flex Lewis, seeing the new guy Kamal come from nowhere win the Arnold. What was that like? Tell us.
Right. Yeah. So leading up to the Olympia, I was ultra confident. Like, I mean, again, not like ego, like everybody else is on a, down here. Like, no, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I just knew what I could bring to the Olympia stage, and it was going to be exciting. Whatever happens. Of course, I was not trying to lay down and not, take the title. I was definitely gunning for the title. On stage, I was just waiting for Steve Weinberger to say, okay, Derek and Flex switch. Never happened. And I thought, in every pose, I'm thinking, I'm the man. I'm the one. It's about to happen. It's about to happen. Just waiting.
Yeah.
Never happened. And I thought to myself, okay, maybe we were off. Let's just go see the video, the pictures, whatever, I had. And as I seen it, I realized, I go, yeah, I was a bit off. And he was spot on. I mean, I don't know about you.
No. All-time best Flex Lewis.
That's fantastic.
I never thought I'd see that version of Flex Lewis at 212. I thought that we'd have to see him as an open to bring that level of physique that he brought.
I totally agree. I think that was by far the best he's ever been.
Amazing.
So for that, like, I can take pride in it because I told him backstage, man, like I actually care about him as a person, right? Like, I look up to him as the champ, but I also I respect him as a person. I want to see him do well. And I think, I can take pride in the fact that I pushed him leading up to the Olympia with it being his very last one in retirement. He went out at his very best. And I think that, like, looking back, he can appreciate that I pushed him and he did whatever it took for him to be his best. And he went out with the biggest bang as the champ. You know what I mean? That's
it was amazing.
If I was in his position, that's how I feel. Like, I'll be like, this little prickhead kid came and tried to challenge me. You know what? Like that's what I would have thought, right? So I think if I was him, I would appreciate me, and then also take pride in what he did. That's if I was him. But I'm not ever going for seconds. Like I said, I never want that. But it's all said and done, and I have to move forward just like everyone else. And this year's a new year, so there'll be a title up for grabs, and a little, I don't want to say redemption for myself because I'm proud of what I did, but there wasn't the peaking that we thought. So I need to be able to be a bit better than I was last year. Conditioning was on, but it didn't look like it because of how I was off.
You weren't full, which was really creating the real kind of the deep separation stuff. It was, things weren't popping like I think we saw you at 4 weeks out. I would love to see you maybe do it. Maybe see you do a guest posing 4 weeks out, just to see what you're looking like at 220. Around that, just to think, ooh, I would love to see it.
Guest posing in Denver, Colorado for Dylan Armbrust's show.
Okay.
6 weeks out. It's the weekend of the Tampa Pro.
Okay.
I might be holding a bit of water because of the flight and things, but that'll give you a decent judgment going in, I suppose. After that, it's all focused on the Olympia. No more guest posing, probably.
Sorry, going back to Flex Lewis, how do you think he'll do as an open when he comes back next year? How do you see him doing?
To say that he does it, because life happens. He's got business and family. Let's say he's going to come back in 2020. I mean, dude, he's got a phenomenal physique. The only thing is, I don't think he needs to try to put too much muscle on. If he does that, I fear that it's going to be almost because he has a pretty physique. So I think too much muscle, like if he added 20 pounds of muscle, it would make him look bad.
I spoke to Flex at the press conference at the Olympia, and I said, Flex, I've got a figure in my head of how I think you'd look your best. And I had 225. I said, before I say it, you say yours. And he said 226. He said, that's me at my absolute best.
Yeah. I think I would agree with you. And pushing too much more than that, I think will just make him, I don't want to say look blocky because he has a tiny waist, but like, you know what I mean? It's not like it's not going to look normal. Like, he still kind of has a good flow to him and everything. But I think if he puts on that much muscle, he's just going to look like a muscle bound guy.
Yeah, look blocky. Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Because he's got lovely lines. I think he'd ruin it if he went above 230. But
so, like, for me, I think I could be maybe even 10 pounds heavier than that, like 235 or 240 or 235. Yeah, 235 because
on stage.
Like, eventually, not this year, but eventually.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like because I have a little bit wider shoulders and I can fill out the frame a bit more.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing that's 230 to 235, I think. If I were to go open, but we're not thinking about that right now.
Derek, 2019 Olympia, who's the first call out at the 212? The first five guys. Who's the first five?
Oh boy, I don't want to disrespect anybody because if I don't see their name, you know how it's going to be.
It's fine. First things that pop into your head.
I look at myself, of course, being the top contender. If Kamal comes back like he did last year, he'll still be in the top 5. I don't know where he'll land, to be honest.
Sorry, Kamal was 205, so he's still got 7 pounds to fill out. So say he comes in 2 or 3 pounds heavier, still as shredded as he was last year. So you know he's going to be in the mix, isn't he?
Oh, I mean, he'll definitely be top 5 for sure. He was on point, I would say, this year, which landed him the 3rd place spot. But you got other guys coming too, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Eduardo Correa comes.
Oh, he's back, isn't he? He's back, yeah.
He has to qualify, doesn't he?
I think that guy, I mean, has he ever been off on conditioning?
Derek, the 2012 Prague and 2012 British Grand Prix, I actually wrote in the MD play-by-play, I says, there's such a thing when you see someone that is actually in perfect condition, where literally they could not physically be any more shredded. It's like skin wrapped around muscle. I mean, I know he hasn't got the most prettiest shape, but when it comes to muscle and condition, that guy brings it to the 212.
Totally. I mean, he goes by Super Slice, don't he?
Super Slice. Oh, is he? Okay.
But
Super Slice.
he has a lot of,
Super Sliced.
So who else?
So we got those 2 guys. So David Henry's coming back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume he says, he's not retiring.
He's not retiring. No.
It's fantastic.
He made that pretty bold, so
Yes.
I would assume he's coming back.
Yeah.
He's always a top contender. I like physiques like Rude Boy.
Oh, Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
improving.
I don't know where he's going to land, but I like that guy as a person, and I do like his physique. There's some things that I would try to change up maybe a little bit to for this year, but I think he'll be maybe in the top 6 this year.
Well, he's moved up from, I think he was 10th, and he's moved up to 9th now, or 9th to 8th. But he is moving up, and he is improving, and he always improves because he's a very hard worker.
Yeah, I'll give you one more guy that I'm looking that I think that's making solid improvements, and that's my boy Sean Clarita. I think he.
I was going to say Sean.
I like that guy, and I think he'll be top 5 maybe.
170 on stage.
Have you forgotten about Ahmed Ashkanani? He's done, or?
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Yeah, I don't know.
You know.
No,
well, that's what I said. There's always you're going to offend some people. Can you leave some names out?
I didn't mention him, but actually, I'm glad you brought him up again. I apologize. I actually have said this before, and why it slips my mind. I guess this just proves that I just focus on myself. No, really, I really do.
As you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ahmad, I'm going to anticipate this, and I could be wrong. I'm going to anticipate, since he was a bit off last year, he's got a fire, I bet. And he's going to come back. And I mean, he placed 2nd. So did Eduardo Correa. He placed 2nd.
Yeah.
Right? So I think these guys are going to come back and try to make a statement.
It's going to be a great 212 this year. Brand new scene, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, I cannot wait.
Brand new scene.
New champ.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I look, as a professional bodybuilder, as a competitor, I need my competition. I know this. I need my competition to be gunning for me. I don't need it to be my best, but I want to make the greatest. I want this to be the best Olympia competition the 212 has ever been, and it's going to be.
Yeah. And how cool is it?
Especially by the guys I just named.
And how cool?
Some of the other guys that are coming that I didn't mention, and they're pissed that I didn't say their names.
But how cool is it to be that he's 25 and he's the one everybody's going for? That's a major accomplishment just there, isn't it, Derek?
It's incredible.
Isn't it incredible?
It definitely feels good. Like, I mean, these guys I just named, I've looked up to them before I was a pro.
Yeah.
And then now I'm in the mix with them, right? We're all going and you know, of course I'm coming for that title. Like I'm putting that aside. I like these guys. I look up to them and I respect them as bodybuilders and as people, but that title.
Question.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the Open Olympia this year?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great question, and I'm gonna pick my dark horse just because everybody likes the underdog, right?
Now we're ready.
We're ready. We're really.
Yeah.
Going to hear a pin drop now.
Yeah.
I like the way Brandon Curry is going.
Ooh. Of course, but he's watched the show, so you
listen.
see.
I'm gonna say this. I don't know that he will win.
No, you never know.
Because I think he does need to bring his legs up a little bit.
Yes.
But he was scary good at the Arnold.
Yeah. Did you agree with the Arnold results?
really, really good. And
Fantastic.
I just kept looking at him like, damn, I didn't want to take my eyes off him.
Yeah.
But you know who else? By the way, this off topic. Luke Sandow really impressed the hell out of me.
Fantastic. On the rise.
I like Luke, and I was like, dang, he's on. He looks good. I was really proud of Luke.
Yeah, he's really, I mean, he's so far for the year, he's been like the big feel good, like Shawn Rhoden won the Olympia last year. I didn't see that coming. And I didn't even have Shawn Rhoden in my top 5, and then he goes and wins the Olympia. It's like it's Kamal coming out of nowhere, winning the Arnold. These are the kind of things that get the excitement going in the sport. So for someone like Luke to come up and, like, I interviewed him and he said, I'm here to make top 6. And I was kind of like, oh, well, if you don't, don't be disappointed. And then he goes and gets...
Ask him how he, last year when I went to Body Power, I was out there at Emporium Gym when we were training.
Oh yeah.
Ask him how he had to try to out-angle me in a.
That's a British trick. Yeah.
So he's a good dude. All those guys are, and but as far as the Open, I like Luke. I hope he does well in his next competition. Josh is a good guy, but I think he's got some other things going on right now. And but Brandon's really, really good. With his shape. Rolly, I seen him backstage at tanning for the Olympia last year, and I came out from tanning and I go, this guy is on another level. Like what happened?
He looks like an alien, doesn't he? He's so big.
You know what I mean? But then at the Arnold this year, it was like just last week. It's like that's not what we see at the Olympia either. So
no, I think it was just. The thing is, it's only one show, and I still think he's a threat for the Olympia title, though. I do. But what do you think?
Oh yes, for sure. I think I made an argument that he could have been higher even at the Olympia this year. But
many have.
Of course, if you have Phil coming back, I don't know that he will. But I mean, dude, he's a 7-time champ. So like, what do you like? He one of the best of all time. Mm-hmm. And then Rolly, like we just mentioned. If he comes in like he did last year, that's scary. Mm-hmm. Brandon Curry, if he can keep doing what he's doing. Mm-hmm. I've left out Shawn Rhoden, but I'm going to say this. Shawn Rhoden coming in like he did last year was on point. I mean, that's why he got the title. The other guys were off. He was on. But we've also seen sometimes a bit off. Mm-hmm. I think ultimately him coming back and doing what he did this last year, he's going to win again. Okay. That's my true thought. But those other guys, man, dude, they're making strides like crazy. Mm-hmm. So,
any final questions there, AJ?
No questions. Just we're really looking forward to see you at the Olympia, and you've done a great job for being this young. It's just amazing, and the if they want to represent for the 212 title, you got all the tools, not just your physique, but the way you act, your professionalism, and now we can see you have a heart for others. You reach out like with your friend. When you go to other countries, you think about, I'm not losing size now, I'm not eating, but you're thinking about their poverty-ridden, and like it affects you. This shows me that you're a guy who has bigger, goals than than yourself, and that's something bodybuilding really needs, because you guys are role models for a lot of kids worldwide. Yeah. So it's very important to have those in position as the winner. So you have all those tools. So now you got to peak for the Olympia.
Peak.
Now it's my time to earn it. I have to do what it takes and work for it. No, AJ, man, that really means the most to me. And I promise you when I say this, when people say things like what you just said, that means more to me than people saying I'm going to win the Olympia title.
Oh.
Like that for me, again, this is not me boasting, bragging, or being big-headed or ego-driven, whatever it might be. My expectation is to win the Olympia. And that's because, like you said, I have the tools as far as like the physique and things. Like if I can work for it, I expect to do what it takes to earn it, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, what else am I doing? Like I have bigger goals other than myself. I want to be a part of something bigger than myself and doing something great around the world. You know what I mean? And but you're right, man. Like just knowing that there's people out in this world that don't have the same opportunity, that drives me. I talk about it all the time. I was on the phone with my father last night saying like, I wish there was more opportunity for these other people, and because I'm in the position to give back and do things like that, that means the most to me. And like I said, like the things you said as far as like, how I try to give back and things, that I'm very thankful and, for you to say that. That means the most to me. So thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Derek, have you got any final thank yous or shout outs?
Yes. So first and foremost, I'm super excited for my new website to be launched. That should be, it's dereklunsford.com.
Yeah.
And this right now I'm providing a public site to where I have like programs you can purchase, or the clothing or the wristbands, things like that. There's going to be several different things on the public site. And I'm in the works of having like a members site too, to where it goes even more in depth, and it gives you like, you get it's a monthly membership, but it gives you insight on what I'm going to be doing throughout the Olympia, and it just goes more into what's going on with my training, nutrition, life, and things like that you can follow. But the public in the members site should be launched by the end of the month at dereklunsford.com, which is not up yet, but it will be.
What type of clothing do you have?
What's that?
What type of clothing do you have? Because you're very fashion. You look very fresh. What type of clothing? What type of clothing do you have?
I'm starting very small, very, very little. I just want to provide a couple things. It's more to give back, and people that want to support me, like, I appreciate it. So this shirt is going to be this is the 2018 shirt.
Okay.
There's some other writing on the back. This is the 2018 Olympia shirt. I'm coming out with a 2019 Olympia shirt, which is badass. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I'm like messaging the guy like every day, like, dude, can you mock this up for me and get it?
Fantastic.
So I have to get you guys some, but and then the wristbands. These wristbands say like it's black and gold, and it says "Be the Standard," and it's got my name on the back in black and gold.
Nice.
Be the standard. That sounds
like that.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
a
good.
good.
That works.
Yeah.
That was something that Ben and I said last year to each other, like, set the standard and be the standard of what it means to be the best in the world, right? Best that you can be. So that's why I keep it right here with me every day.
Big shout out to Animal.
What's that?
Big shout out to Animal.
No, I'm getting there. Don't worry.
Sorry, I'm hungry. I want to go for some food.
Yeah, they've been backing me up since before I turned pro. And they've seen something in me and believed in me, and I'm thankful for them. They've been sending me around the world and doing different things, like the Arnold. I'll be at FIBO, Germany.
We'll be at FIBO too.
Yeah, so if you guys get the chance, come by the Animal booth at FIBO.
Yeah.
And some of the other events, like Body Power, are still up in the air, and the Olympia, but we'll keep you posted on that. Thank you, MD, Global Muscle Radio.
Our pleasure.
Giles, AJ.
Thank you.
Seriously, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me on. Also, Gasp and I are going to start collaborating.
Nice.
The clothing company. Icon Meals.
Okay.
My code is Derek10 if you want 10% off the meals in the U.S. Protan and CJ.
Wow.
So if you want any posing trunks, CJ is the one to get them. And Protan, of course, that's the Olympia color, man. So
nice. He has many sponsors, man.
Yeah,
it means people are
good.
supporting.
And also, I'm going to message you afterwards because I want a signed T-shirt for our friend. So I promised. I did actually promise I'd get him one at the Arnold, and I never got to. I went to the Animal booth. I went to the cage, but I didn't see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Times and there was we do some filming while we're at these events too, like training videos for the company. So sorry I missed you.
No, I missed you. So okay, Derek. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, and all the best for the Olympia. So really rooting for you, mate. And yes. Sorry, I thought I know what you're doing there. Sorry, I see his arm moving. So big thank you there, Derek, and we'll see you in Vegas.
Thank you so much, guys. Till next time.
All right then, mate.
Bye.
Thank you, Derek.
Bye.
Bye. There you go.
Chris, that's a good guy.
Yeah, I thought you'd like him.
Oh, I like Derek Lunsford
You don't really
now.
know much about, because I know you follow more the open guys, but I knew you'd like him because he's a really good kid. How can he be that smart at 25?
Chris, 25 years old. What were you doing when you were 25 years old?
Oh, good question. Good question.
25. Can we say or?
I'll keep that one to myself.
Yeah, I'm certainly going to keep mine to myself.
Now that's a great. Now it's just to do it. That's all we can do.
Great representative. Now, obviously, I make it perfectly clear I'm Team Kamal because he's my friend. But
you didn't.
I cannot. Yeah, I didn't really. No, because it's Derek's opportunity, and I'm really excited. I'm hoping that they're the final. I really want those to be the final.
Kamal and Derek.
Kamal and Derek. I want to see Kamal because Kamal was 205 last year. I want to see him a little bit closer. I want to see them both at their absolute best and see them fight it out. That's what I want to see.
I want to see Derek, Kamal, Armin Ashkamani, and Dwayne Quamina.
Yeah. I think Clarida's in with a really good chance. There's a guy that has gone every single placing. He's got higher, it's like 16th, 9th, 7th. He's getting.
I want to see the post down with Dwayne Quamina and Derek just for the beef they had. No, but I just also think Armin Ashkamani, people are forgetting him a little bit. He was 2 years in a row second,
Yes,
and won the Arnold Classic.
And he had one off year last, and he wasn't that off last year.
No, he wasn't that off,
and he wasn't like out of the. He was still 5th place.
But Derek,
carries a lot of muscle.
He is not only he's the presence. He is like the man. Flex retired.
Yep.
Jose retired.
Is he the next in line?
And I'm not so. What was the guy that came that could do the comeback again? He just mentioned. I forgot his name. Ed Correa.
Eduardo.
Well,
Correa.
First we have to see him qualify.
And he's ripped both his triceps. We'll see.
His arms are gone.
Yeah,
triceps.
We'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
I mean, he's been second at the Olympia.
But when he
nearly beat Flex Lewis, the year Flex was sick backstage and Flex came in very flat, and it was very close. He nearly took
back
Flex
in 2014, 13, wasn't it?
Yeah, 14, 15, yeah.
He looked just amazing. So I hope he can come back, but I will see if he can come back to his former glory because it's been a lot of injuries since then.
Yeah, and it was nice of him giving props to Ricardo Correa, who's also moving up. So Ricardo, you need to get some more content because we need to see more of you, mates. Yeah, I'm going to keep bugging you. I'm going to keep on to you.
It's nice to have him have Clarida also, the giant, what's it called? The
Giant Killer.
Giant Killer.
Yeah, and also I really wanted to mention that friend of ours because this kid was in a very bad place. And I messaged Derek. I said, look, it would mean the world to him. And he says, I've already messaged him.
Oh, he already did it?
Yeah, he'd already done it, but he sent him another message.
So you didn't have to push him to do it?
Not at all, no. And this kid said, look, he was really serious issues, but he's... It's been a turning point for that kid. So there's someone across the world that he's making a huge impact on. So
we can say we are officially on Team Lunsford now, or?
Lunsford / Kamal. I've got to be 50-50.
You have a picture of Kamal in your house, for people who don't know.
I do have a picture of
over
Kamal
the bed. So it's a big...
hang on. It's a photograph I took of Kamal in 2001. It's my photograph.
Yeah.
I framed it, and it's up in my hallway of stars.
Derek, great guy.
Okay, well, I think we better wrap it up.
Yep.
So that is our first guest for episode 12 of Global Muscle Radio. We'll be right back after the ad with our next special guest.
Yeah.
And we are out. And welcome back to episode 12 of MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Media Studios with my co-host AJ for the new Young Hotshot special episode with Sibusiso Kotelo. Give him a round of applause. Come on in. Good to see you, Sibusiso. How are you, mate?
I'm alright, and how are you guys?
Yeah, really good, really good. I wanted to get you on because this episode is about the young up and risers. We had Derek Lunsford on, and we want yourself, and we've got another guest on. But I really wanted to get you on because I want to talk about the guys like yourself who really are on the rise. So AJ's going to show you something you might not have seen yet.
You see that in the camera, Chris? Oh yeah, you seen the articles about you in MD?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen it because it hasn't been out very long.
Oh, no, okay.
So yeah, AJ, can you say his name right? Because you've not said it right yet.
Sibusiso. Was that wrong? Was it wrong?
Sibusiso. Yes. No, there's no K.
There's no K. Giles has been talking about you for the last 4 months.
Wow.
Yes, and when Giles usually has almost always has a very good eye for founding new talent, So when he talked about you, and I saw the videos when you won the Shawn Rhoden Classic, and some of your pictures, amazing. That's
Thank you so much.
So that's why we want to have you on the show to because American audience maybe don't know so much about you, and the European audience. So it's we really wanted to have you on so we can know more about you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your contest history, just so the viewers can get to know you?
Okay, cool. So I started competing in 2014 as a junior. Fast forward, I've done about, say, 7 shows. I went from being a junior straight into being a super heavyweight because when I competed as a junior, I was already 102 kgs on stage.
Wow.
And then I met my coach, Jack Lotter, and then we've been working together for the past, say, 4 years. And the project has always been trying to get the pro card. So I did Worlds back in the day before the split in 2016. I was the youngest guy in that lineup. I came 8th out of 14 guys.
How old were you?
Sorry?
How old were you?
I was 23 or 22 at the time.
Oh.
Yeah. And the next guy was like 35. So these guys were like, oh. I'm not sure if you guys know the Egyptian Hulk. He was in my lineup at the time.
Oh.
Egyptian Hulk.
You've not seen that guy. He's absolutely enormous.
Okay. No.
Yeah. He blew my mind. I think the guy was like 130 on stage. I was like,
Oh,
jeez.
wow. Was he in good condition?
Yeah, he was
Oh,
amazing.
really?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
So that's 2016. And then 2017, I did essays again in South Africa. And then obviously the whole split thing happened. And then, And then last year, obviously, we were just campaigning to do the Shawn Rhoden Classic. And then, I got the pro card. It's a kind of long story short. So I've been competitive for the last 4 years.
That was a fantastic. I mean, when I saw the pictures from the when they popped up on, I think it's Instagram. I think I first saw you from the Shawn Rhoden Classic. I was like, oh my god! And it's ironic that you did the Shawn Rhoden Classic because your physique is kind of in the mold of Shawn Rhoden, isn't it?
Right? Yeah. I mean, he's put it on record himself and said, I look like a bigger version of him. I'm like, really?
Bigger version.
That's a compliment. Yeah.
And you're 20.
Right? It's a huge compliment.
Yes.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
And you're 27 now, and we've spoken messages back and forth, and you said that Shawn is actually a mentor to you. So how is that working? How is he mentoring you to for your
Okay?
Pro
So
status?
I met Shawn Rhoden in 2017.
Okay.
When he was still part of Pro Subs at the time. So they were doing a tour. So he'd come back from China and then he'd entered South Africa. Brad Wadsworth, who's actually the distributor of Pro Subs in South Africa, just invited me to come to the dinner. Shawn Rhoden, who obviously was touring, went on Instagram, and for some reason he found my pictures on Explore. So he told Brad, he was like, listen, who's this guy? Like, is he a pro? What's going on? So Brad was like, no, listen, don't worry, I got a surprise for you later. So the surprise is me rocking up to the dinner. So I rock up to the dinner. Shawn Rhoden is like, dude, I thought you were a pro. I'm like, nah, not really. So we started talking from then, and then invited me to come do his show. And we've been like communicating ever since. So when I got my pro card, it's a relationship that I have with Shawn where he genuinely, when I say genuinely, navigates me around the industry, in the sense that, I mean, I'd go and ask Shawn, I'm like, bro, so-and-so just DM me asking me about this. What do you think should be the next step, Because he has obviously more experience in the game. And I revere him not just as Miss Olympia, to be honest. And I think that's what a lot of people are getting confused, is that they think I connect with him because I'm trying to be Miss Olympia, which obviously is the goal, but if you have to spend time with Shawn Rhoden, you understand that you connect with him as a person first. And he's just an all-around nice guy. So that's the mentorship in terms of just maneuvering me around the industry. And he's also extended the gesture that, because I'll be doing the Chicago Pro, and then 2 weeks later, I'll be doing
pro debut.
100%. And then I'll be doing the Vancouver. I've applied to do Vancouver 2 weeks afterwards. So in that 2 weeks interim, I'll be actually staying with Shawn Rhoden, getting some footage, training with him, Obviously, because you also be preparing at the time for Mr. Olympia. So it's that kind of relationship that we have going, yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be good content.
I didn't realize actually, because I not really asked you before. You said, Sean's going to decide what my pro show is going to be, and I was like, okay, well, let me know because I want to update it in my shows and on the media platforms. So I didn't realize, it was quite that you're quite that involved with each other as mentor and mentee.
Mentee.
Of course, there's not a lot of many South African bodybuilders that we. Marius Done is he?
No, Marius Done's done. He's
but he's the only guy that had a big name.
Andrew Hudson as well.
Well, next week, South African is actually competing in Australia. Andrew Hudson,
great guy.
But how is it to compete in South Africa? How is bodybuilding in South Africa? Is it harder? Is it easy? Like, how do you guys get supplement deals? How is the gyms and so on for and the food and how is it?
It's growing. It's growing. South Africa's industry is growing. There's a lot of talent in South Africa. I'll tell you that for free. It's a growing industry. The deals, not so much, because even though we're a growing economy, but because of our location, we're still sort of seen as a third world country, if you know what I mean. So it's one of those things where, you look at guys like William Barnett coming from Ghana, moving to the UK, it's a location thing with South Africa where you want to make it work in South Africa, but unfortunately you also seem a bit out of reach with, the likes of you guys being in the UK, the US markets, which is obviously one of the biggest markets. So it can happen in South Africa. It's just we need to find a way ourselves to be more visible in the global stage. And that's our biggest struggle, to be honest, is visibility, not necessarily the talents that we have here. We've got amazing athletes in South Africa, to be honest. Like, we can really amazing athletes. It's not easy trying to do bodybuilding in South Africa as well, but we make it work.
One of the reasons I have such a good feeling about you, you're 27 years old. You've just turned pro. Yeah. It's your the way you're promoting yourself. You're doing everything. If you came to me and said, Giles, how should I promote myself? The things that you're doing are the things I would advise. I would say get plenty of good photo shoots. I mean, look, this image here. It's like these are good. I mean, I asked you for some images. You sent me within minutes a great selection of really good quality images.
Speaking of pictures, we're a little bit. What can I say? We're old school in our mind. So we just opened. I just opened the Instagram like 4 months ago, and there were promote athletes. And I have all the legends there. And your picture with the
cheetah and a lion.
The cheetah
has the most likes of all my pictures. Yeah. So
he likes that.
So between all the girls I have some girls, usually it's girls with a thong and all that who gets the most likes. But your picture with the. It's just like you got to keep those pictures, beautiful pictures. Who took those pictures?
It's unique.
Did you create that idea or somebody else for those pictures?
No, it wasn't. It was actually an American photographer. His name is Ulrich.
Ulrich, yeah. Great photographer.
Yeah. So he came to South Africa and he was like, "Listen, I want to do something out the box." So we were like, "Well, you're in Africa. What better way to shoot with an animal?" So he's like, "Okay." So we just decided to shoot with a cheetah, a lion, and a giraffe. So
did you feel nervous when you were next? Did you feel nervous when you were next to the lion, or was it completely tame?
Oh yes.
You're looking very cool and calm and collective, and I was thinking, shit, that's a lion he stood next to.
Right? Yeah, no, it is a full-grown ass lion as well. But so they take you through the whole process. They feed them. They let you feed the lion as well. So the whole idea about the lion is to make sure that it doesn't feel threatened,
Yeah.
So as soon as you master that part, you sort it.
Yeah. So how long were you taking the picture? Was it a very quick thing, or were you there for a few minutes, or was it just a matter of quick one photo and get away?
We were actually there for a whole hour, to be honest. Wow. So it wasn't. Yeah.
So the lion.
A quick thing, eh?
Yeah, the lion didn't fancy taking a bite out of you.
The difficulty was trying to get the lion to be still enough.
Right.
To actually take the picture, because you can't necessarily tell a lion to just sit. So it was a matter of trying to position myself around the lion, but also trying to, stand still with the camera.
So what about the giraffe? Did that want to eat you? Maybe.
No, the draft was easy. No, that was actually easy. They're such passive animals.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Any thoughts about coming to the UK and doing the show? We have a big show.
June the 30th.
June the 30th in England, and there we can hype you.
I wanted to do the show. I actually want to do the show, but because it's 1 week away from the show, I'd really intended on doing.
Right.
My coach just thought it's not a good idea.
Which show?
So yeah, it's
Chicago.
It's definitely next year. Next year, I'm making the commitment. Next year, I'm going to do the show.
So how's your training going from, because you've wasted no time from turning pro to doing your pro debut, which I like that fact, because I think you, like, I look at your physique and I was looking at every angle, I was thinking, this guy, once he gets a bit of refinement, a bit more detail in the legs, a little bit more back thickness, I'm thinking he's good to go, he's ready to place well in any pro show. So how have you been approaching with your coach, your physique, to improve your physique from when you turn pro to your pro debut?
Look, I have a very honest coach, and I appreciate that about him. He's a nerd as well, which I enjoy, because he reads up on this and that and that. And at the same time, he, as I said, he's very blunt and honest. So when I came back from the pro show, he's like, listen, well done, but please understand the real work is about to start. So he sat me down and he was like, listen, the target places that we want to focus on is my hamstrings, my back, and my shoulders.
Yes.
Okay, so my off season has been orchestrated around developing those body parts, and so much that even now, heading into prep, which I start in 2 weeks, the whole focus is hamstrings, back, and shoulders, because not that my other body parts are perfect, but if I can bring up those three, I think I'll be much more competitive getting into a pro debut.
It's balance and refinement, because you are, I mean, turning pro with that kind of size and like you said, Shawn Rhoden saying he's like a bigger version of me, you know, it's like, it literally, you're not someone that needs to kind of, this is what I said to Rafael Brandao, another kind of young hotshot, 25 years old, you know, doing well. It's like you've kind of got all the time in the world. Most of the guys aren't even turning pro into their early 30s. You know, you're years ahead. And I've said it actually, in my MD Globe Muscle Buzz column in MD, I said, you know, this guy is he's going to be top 6 Olympia way before he's 30. I think that's a given with the current rate of progress you're making.
I really appreciate that. I really do. I really appreciate
It's
that.
fact.
How tall are you, and how much do you weigh on stage?
On stage, I was 118.
Wow.
And
How much?
I'm 1.8. I'm 1.85 meters.
Good.
So that is 6.
Well,
Yes.
I'm
6 foot.
I'm 183, so I'm 6 foot. You're just over 6 foot tall. It's about 6 foot, 6'1". So that's a good height for Mr. Olympia.
Are you planning in Mr. Olympia already?
I've already told.
First, you got to compete in the. No, but this is a good size. This is what we want to see. Yeah.
Young hotshots. Yeah, so I mean, you look at the young up and comers. We have guys like Luke Sandow, Rafael Brandao. We have Derek Lunsford in the 212. It's a really exciting time for young guys like yourself coming through that are already so good. It's so exciting. So I, for one, I mean, as soon as I saw you, I was last year, I thought, oh my God, where has this guy been? He's just popped up from nowhere, and he's like I said, myself been messaging back and forth, and you know, I'm 100% genuine with everything I've said about your physique and your potential. Shawn Rhoden,
Thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure. Shawn Rhoden sees your potential, and you know that's it's really great to see someone like yourself, and you're very professional with your attitude and the way you present yourself. I love your social media as well, because I'll be honest, most bodybuilders' social media drives me mental. Yours doesn't.
Thank you.
So no, I like the way you're doing it. It's you know, you're consistent, and it's all the signs are there for you to really rise to the top. So I, for one, am very excited about your pro debut.
Are you willing to move to America if they give you offer?
Actually, so ProSoft is my sponsor at the moment.
Good company.
And there have been a lot of talks around that.
Oh.
And I've actually put in my contract that should be an opportunity for me to move in the States. I'm actually open to that.
Of course, yeah.
The thing is, I'm not oblivious to the fact that bodybuilding is not just about the physique. There's a marketing side of things.
Correct.
There's a business side of bodybuilding. So I'm not going to be ignorant to that. So if the opportunity comes, I'm willing to grab it and run.
Okay, AJ, have you got any final questions for the young rising star?
We're looking really forward for your progress. We've been really looking forward to see that with Shawn Rhoden, to see what you guys are going to film. And,
Yeah, no, definitely. It's going to be power, yeah.
Oh.
But we will see you before your Chicago debut. More content from you on Muscle Weekly, at least.
Yeah, Sibusiso sent plenty of content for Muscle News Weekly, and I'd like to get him on for a full episode, because this was like an introductory, because I want people to find out who this guy is, because he's going to be on the radar very fast, and I wanted to be the first to get him on.
Is this going to be? I can feel it. I can feel it. Like Shawn Rhoden already accepted him, and you can feel it yourself, can't you? Something is happening.
Hang on a minute, I've got a question. Are you sure Shawn Rhoden wasn't around South Africa when he was about 16?
Sorry?
Are you sure Shawn Rhoden wasn't traveling through South Africa when he was 16? Because there's a lot of resemblance. Are you sure he's not your love child? Are you sure there's no? You're not.
No.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Shawn. I had to throw that in there because honestly, it's and the fact that you did the Shawn Rhoden Classic and you won it, it was just, I was like, whoa, who is this guy? So yeah. Any last thank yous or any mentions or any shout outs?
No, I just want to say thank you to my sponsors. They've really held me down, honestly, and for them to believe in me and continue believing in me means a lot. Thank you to my coach. That guy believed in me, guys. When I say that guy used to stay at the gym past midnight to make sure that I'm getting my posing right.
Brilliant.
He's the kind of guy that will stay with me to make sure I'm getting my meals in. He doesn't have to do that, but just the way he's invested in me as a person, as an athlete, as a growing businessman, it means everything. I don't believe I have fans. I believe I've got a global family. So everyone that follows me, I just want to say thank you. And yeah, it really means a lot. And I just hope that things are going to go well from here on. Yeah.
Okay, Sibusiso, well, I'm really glad we got you on, and I'm really excited for your pro debut and to see how your career develops. Like AJ said, I like to think I have a good eye for spotting talent, and you've got all the tools to take it to the very, very top, my friend. I really believe that.
I really appreciate it. It really means a lot. It really, really means a lot. Thank you.
All right, Sibusiso, well, get training hard, mate, and go win that Chicago, and we'll get you back on soon on Global Muscle Radio.
100%. Thank you, gents. Enjoy.
All right, buddy. Thank you, mate.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Sibusiso.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Oh, hang on. 1 second. Yeah, I told you.
What's part is good about this show is that we don't go only for the guys who has the most Instagram followers or who the media pushes as the next whoever. Mm-hmm. We go for who we see as the talent and the personality and who has the, you know what I mean? And this guy, let's see.
Honestly, he is ticking every box for someone that he's got the physique, he's got a good attitude, he's a nice guy, he's got the attention of Shawn Rhoden, and he's getting guidance from Shawn Rhoden. Literally, you know, as a media guy, like sometimes I'll do news items on someone, and you ask them for images, and you have to chase them, or they come back with a phone picture, and like Sibusiso straight away, all these beautiful images, great photo shoot images, and it's just a dream to work with people like that. And
it's also good that what can I say? That because a lot of people when they say he's mentoring me, really means nothing. It just means putting a like on his Instagram. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just want to use his name. Yeah. But it's so nice that Mr. Olympia took his time, you know, to talk with him and have him at his house. Wasn't that what he said?
I'm sure he said, yeah. Before he does the Chicago, which when Shawn will be getting ready for the Olympia.
And they're going to train together. This is what's exciting. A Mr. Olympia training with this is like the Glory Day stories, you know?
Yeah. This is like when Jay was training with Phil and he was like, come on, guy, you could be Correct. Mr. Olympia. This is like, it's like Shawn's, you know, he's at the pinnacle and he's like, you know, maybe in a couple of years, maybe he'll be looking to retire. And he's paving the way for these new guys.
So it's very nice of Shawn Rhoden to use his Mr. Olympia title to motivate the up-and-comers.
And also, talking to Shawn Rhoden, we shook hands on him coming on Global Muscle Radio.
Now we're forcing him to come on.
No, he said I'd love to come on. So I spoke to him at the hotel at the Columbus. So yeah, and I'm sure
I have to clear that with Phil Heath first. I'm not sure. Well, I gotta ask first. I'm not sure if that's gonna work out. Well,
we give opportunity to everyone, and it's nice
at
because
least you have Phil Heath in your article there. So then it's
yes, yeah. Like when I call Phil Heath a nerd.
What?
Look, read it.
No, let's people buy it first. People buy it. And you can read it for yourself.
Fantastic issue. And
you call him a nerd?
No,
they have to buy it.
You have to read it.
Yeah.
I actually apologized to Shawn Rhoden in the following issue. So you have to check that out as well. So anyway, so what do you think?
It's hard. First, I've seen him on stage. He looked good there, but you have to stand against the pros to really see what's going on.
This kid's he's 118
All
kilos
I know-
on stage. He's big. He's wide. He's 6'1", and his shoulders are that wide. This is like Paul Dillette. Because I said in my column, I said, what do you get if you cross Shawn Rhoden, Victor Martinez, and Paul Dillette? I said, this is what you get, Sibusiso.
He is a professional. He looks very He looks very healthy.
I was going to say that.
He's young.
Yep.
He looks well mannered.
Lovely guy.
He got all the good things in a person that I saw now. So let's see. First impression, fantastic.
Like I said, he ticks
6'1".
He ticks every box for someone like the Rafael Brandeos, the 25 years old, the 31-year-old Luke Sandos, the 25-year-olds Derek Lunsford. These are the future superstars of the sport, and I'm so glad he's even thinking about moving to America.
Oh, you have to.
He would just honestly, that guy will thrive because he's going to be well loved if he moves to America, and I think he's going to open more and more doors for himself. So big thank you there to Sibusiso for coming on, and that is our second of third guest in our special Young Hotshots special edition.
Young Hotshot.
Yeah, do you like that?
I like it.
I thought of that.
Is that Young Hotshots?
Young Hotshots.
That's something. Yeah.
How else do you describe them?
Young Hotshots.
I hate them. 27, and he's got a physique like that.
Young Hotshots. I like the name.
27. Oh,
Yes.
Do you remember when you were 27, AJ?
It's not that long ago, bro. It's only 7 years ago. So yeah, I remember when I was 27.
Don't lie.
Huh?
Don't lie.
No, what lie?
Right, okay, well, we'll wrap it up there, and we'll go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with our final guest for episode 12 of Global... Who will it be?
Who will it be?
Of Global... They probably know, because it's probably on the title of the show. Okay, we'll be right back. See you later. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio, here for our Young Hotshots special episode, and we are joined by Dwayne Quamina. Yeah, give him a round of applause. How are you, Dwayne?
I'm doing great.
Good. Yep. So, I wanted to get you on because this episode is a special episode for the kind of the young up-and-comers, the guys that are going to be knocking on those top Olympia placings, as you already are, being the top 10 in the 212 in the world. So we wanted to get you on and, just to see how you've been, really.
I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I enjoy your show a lot, so this is an honor to be on your show, so thanks.
Yeah, so you know AJ, don't you?
No, it's just that I saw you I saw you leading up to the Olympia. I wasn't too familiar with you. When we saw you had that little, with your little, what can we say, Instagram things with Lunsford. That's how I see. Okay, but then I started sawing your. What connected with me was when you told Ron Harris you were in the Navy, Marine or Navy.
Navy.
Yeah. And I'm like half Jamaican and half Norwegian living in Norway. So I'm like I stand out a lot there. And I knew a lot of racism growing up. And he was the only black man in this Navy, what was it again? Navy,
Aviation? Or
what?
Aviation?
Yeah.
Navy.
And like the struggles he had to go through. And a lot of the insults he got on the Instagram when he went after that, and you really changed it around with your own supplement store and your own clothing line, and now you're like one of the most popular 212 guys, and it's so refresh. And I feel you got a little bit overlooked at the Olympia. I feel some people might not so, but it's so refreshing to see that you really, because I doubted you in the beginning. I didn't like that, but when I got to know you and see more of you, you got a great personality. You're always smiling, and I'm just impressed. That's why we wanted to feature you, and so people can see more of you and get to know you more.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Wow.
So I've noticed you've been staying up to date with all your heavy training. You've been sending me regular updates from Muscle News Weekly. I've been taking stuff off your Instagram. And so training's going well. Your off-season training?
Yeah, training's going great. Actually, this is the best condition I've ever been in for a show, amateur or pro, this far out. So we really buckled down and we didn't let ourselves get out of control this off season, so we can get the qualification for the Olympia in 2019.
So you're going for the New York Pro. When did you decide to do that?
The New York Pro, I decided to do it about a month and a half ago, and the reason I decided to do it is because I found out that my mom has cancer.
Oh, no.
And
Sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that.
she's never seen me compete, so that's my hometown. So I figure I'd go there and let her see me compete. Yeah.
How old are you now, Dwayne?
I am 31.
31, so you're still very young, really. So
That was sad. That was sad news.
yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
How's she doing? Is she okay? Or I mean,
She's doing good. She started the chemo. She has 2 more chemo sessions, and then they'll start operating to remove it. Yeah.
okay. Sorry to hear that. Yeah,
Who else is doing this New York Pro? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I think maybe Guy Sistanino and then the Carrera dude.
oh, Eduardo Correa.
Guado. Yeah, I think he might do it. I'm putting it in my head, thinking.
I thought Guy was retired because he had some shoulder problems. I thought I heard last time I heard he was down in weight and he wasn't going to compete again.
No, I talked to him the other day. He said he's not sure if he's going to do New York, but he might. So.
So obviously you took 10th place at Olympia last year, and I know we've messaged back and forth. What are the goals for this year?
To win the Olympia.
With Olympia. Okay.
Well, yeah. Do you see yourself? Do you think you have a possibility to win this year already, or do you think you need a little bit more time?
No, I definitely think I can win this year. Looking back at all my pictures and everything, I definitely could come in a little sharper. So that's the game plan. We wanted to stay, not get out of control in the off season and come in with an even sharper package at the Olympia. So
Because he's known for his transformation. Like your off season before has been very off season, to say that. What do you think is going to change this time? Because you're not going to do it that route. What do you think is going to change this time, since you're not going too off season?
yeah, my motivation. I'm doing it for my mom. So I think that's what kept me in the good shape and keeps me going. So yeah.
So you really kind of came out of nowhere like last year, because you kind of put all this muscle on very, very fast, and then you won one of the Europa shows, wasn't it? It wasn't.
Yes.
It wasn't Dallas, was it?
Beat Sean Clarida, wasn't it?
It was the Phoenix. Yeah.
Oh, Phoenix.
I beat
Yeah. I recognize the backdrop and everything. And then you kind of just where's he gone?
Oh,
He just dropped something. Yeah, and then you kind of just came out of nowhere, and I was like, wow, this guy's really, really, really good. And I thought your condition at Olympia was very, very good last year. I thought you kind of faded a little bit after the Olympia because you did those several shows, didn't you? You went to Japan, and what other shows did you do?
I did the Long Beach. So the Long Beach, after the Olympia, I got really, really depressed. I said, you know what, F this.
Top
I'm
10.
done
You made
competing.
top 10 in your first Olympia.
Yeah, but I knew I was capable of more. So
He's
it
going
was-
for top. He's going for the best, you know?
You did look
Yeah.
good.
So after that, I ate like crazy, and then I remember I lost 26 pounds in about a week for the Legion.
Wow.
And then, yeah, it was bad. So the carbon up and the drying out, it affected me. But I had no regrets. I ate cake all week. I was happy. Then we went to Japan. It was kind of a stretch doing that, so far out from the Olympia. So I was just run down and beat up already. And I brought a way better package than the Long Beach, but my body was tired, so I needed a break.
Yeah. So you've only started. When did you start back training properly, really properly?
I would say January. Yeah.
January. Oh, so you didn't have that much time off at all, really?
Oh, no. I think if I did, I would have fat again.
Yeah. So who are you working with then? Who's prepping you?
Blue Taylor. I've been with him for the last 6 years.
Is that BLEU, isn't it?
BLEU.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I've seen him. I've seen
him too, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a little bit sad interview because we think about your mom, you know.
Yeah.
We wanted to see you smile and laugh, you know. But it's
Okay, let's have some fun, man.
no, it was sad. It was sad, but yeah. So what's new in your life other than that? You open your own supplement shop, haven't you?
he's got his own supplement line now.
Supplement line.
Yeah, so I opened my own supplement shop about 4 months ago, and I have my own supplement line. I will be launching a pre-workout around April 15th. It's called King's Wrath, and
King
it's
what?
really good stuff. King's Wrath.
And what's different with that and other pre-workouts? What does it?
Yeah, the focus aspect. So when you take it, like you really focus, you get a really good mind muscle connection, and you also get a really good pump from it. So you don't need to buy two products. You don't need to buy a pre-workout and a pump formula. You get it all in one. So really great stuff.
Is it like a nootropic as well as a stimulant?
It's a high stim, yeah. It is. But it's not too overwhelming to the point where like you're like all itchy and you can't like get through your workout. Yeah.
So how's the supplement store going? Because I know I've been following how you've been opening that, and it's great. You got your project going on there.
I'm very happy with the supplement store. I was a little nervous getting out of the military because I had needed to be able to have the same income that I had in the Navy. And since I've been open about 4 months now, and I've surpassed my income that I was making in the Navy.
Oh, fantastic!
So,
Wow, that's great.
I wasn't sure whether you'd still in the military. So how long were you in the military for? Tell us about that.
I was in the military for 12 years, and I got out last October.
What was the decision to come out? Was it just was that your end of your?
I just knew that I wouldn't be able to continue competing and have this lifestyle if I stayed in, because I was on shore duty. So next duty station, I would have to be on sea duty, so I'd be on the boat, and it's really hard. Last time I was on the boat, I had to buy a freezer and cook 100 pounds of chicken the night before we pulled out, and that's what I ate for 4 months. Yeah.
Dry and
one question about Lunsford. Was it planned we gonna see who you are, or did you like when you did that thing? Because we really noticed you. Was this a plan all along to like get noticed, or was it authentic that what you said was like real?
Okay, here we go. So Derek Lunsford, I am sorry. I apologize for everything that I did, and it was immature and inappropriate. Okay, so we got that out the way. Now it was planned. If you think about it, the Olympia is a multi-million-dollar event, right?
Yeah.
So they have sound guys, they have video guys, whatnot. So when I grabbed this mic, if they didn't like it or they didn't want it, they just cut the mic, right? So obviously somebody wanted me to do that, and they talked to me and coached me how to do it, right?
Oh, really?
So,
really? Somebody,
really?
Wait. Somebody told you to do this?
Yes.
Wasn't Bob Chick, was it?
Was it Bob Chiclarello?
Wasn't. I'm not gonna say.
No, we
anything.
can't. We don't want to be a snitch on TV. No.
Snitch.
Okay, somebody coached you on it. Okay.
Yeah, I took a lot of heat on that, but
Yeah.
it was a double-edged sword. It was good and bad. I gained followers, and I lost quite a bit of money. It was very dumb. Don't be negative. For anybody coming up in the fitness industry, just stay positive. Like, you're gonna lose a lot of money if you're negative. So, yeah.
I remember you did a little update from Japan, I think it was, for Moss News Weekly, my show, and you said, upon reflection, I tried something, and like you said, a double-edged sword. It kind of worked, but it kind of didn't against me. So I've kind of moving forward. I'm gonna adopt a new attitude, and for that, I can't fault you. So that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of people.
Any questions? You guys got anything else? You get some juicy stuff, man. What's up?
Well, what juicy stuff do we want to know? So, this year's Olympia, who's in the first call-out?
Did you agree with this Arnold Classic? How did you like? Did you watch Arnold Classic?
I did watch the Arnold Classic.
And what's
Which
your
one?
What's your opinion that 212 is no longer in the Arnold Classic? By the way.
Oh, that is very disappointing. Hopefully, they bring it back next year. Like, the 212 brings a lot of entertainment to the fans, so I didn't understand why they cut it. Yeah.
Did you agree with Brandon Curry winning? Who did you have?
Brandon Curry looked absolutely nuts, man. That was insane. So well deserved win for him.
Do you think he can win? How do you think he can do it this year's Olympia?
I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's open, so we'll see who comes out of it. Do I think he could beat Shawn Rhoden? Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. Yeah.
What do you think the top three at the Olympia will be?
Shawn, since he's Mr. Olympia.
You think he'll win it again?
He may. If he brings it, yeah. So Shawn, I think Brandon can be in there. And then Rolly, if his conditioning is good.
Yeah. Were you disappointed with Rolly, how he looked at the Arnold?
Yeah, I wouldn't say disappointed. Like, stuff happens. I've showed up to a show off. You never know. So you can't ever go into a show thinking I'm going to win because you never know what's going to happen. But you could I could tell something was off when he did his guest posing. I saw. I was like, okay, something's off. And then you see on stage he's cramping. So I think he tried to get rid of the water too fast and maybe overdid it.
You saw when his ab cramped up. And I think sometimes people mistake fat for water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just think maybe he just didn't give himself enough time. I think he might maybe pull it. What do you think? Maybe he'll pull it back at maybe the Arnold Brazil or the Arnold Australia?
I'm not too sure. I'm sure he's gonna address the problem and fix it. Like he's a champion, so he'll definitely fix it.
Yeah. Any final questions, AJ?
Just good luck with everything. We know you have other things to think about right now. We send you big wish. What's it called? Hope your mom gets well.
Best wishes, yeah.
Best wishes. That's what we was sad to hear those news. So we have that in our heart, you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Dwayne. Sometimes I get Q or King, or do I call you King or Your Highness?
Yeah.
King Q.
Your Highness.
Okay, what you gonna do this Olympia though? We gotta have some hyping. What you gonna do? The 2019 Olympia. What's King Q gonna do?
He's gonna win. Goddamn.
He's gonna win.
He's gonna win it.
I tell you what, it's going to be such an exciting 212 Olympia this year. You've got no Flex, no Jose. It is literally wide open, you know. So it's going to be Eduardo Correa coming back, and then you've got the guys retiring. It's going to be interesting. It's not going to be not predictable, but it's going to be a bit more exciting this year with new guys like yourself who came in right out the gates, you won your first pro show, then you went to top 10 at the Olympia. You arguably could have been spots higher, 2 or 3 spots higher. So I'm really excited. I think guys like yourself and Derek Lunsford, these are the guys that are the ones moving up. The Shawn Clarida that are going to come back better. So it's really exciting to see, and I can't wait to see that first call, and I hope you're in it, mate.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Giles.
All right, Dwayne. Thank you for this mini update, mate, and I'll keep hounding you for updates from Us News Weekly in the run up to the New York Pro, and I'm hoping to get out to the New York Pro, so I'll be there screaming for you, mate.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, then, Dwayne. We shall. Yep.
Nice seeing you.
All right, Dwayne. Take care, mate. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.
Cheers, buddy. Bye-bye.
Gonna
win it.
Gonna win it.
Do you know what? He's one of those guys that does actually have the potential. Maybe not this year. I don't know. I mean, from 10th to 1st. I mean, we've seen it happen before. Ronnie Coleman, 1998. 97 to 98 went from 9th to 1st. It's
going to be a big jump from 10th to winning, though.
Yeah, I think he'll be first call out. I do believe that. I think Dwayne, Shawn Clarida, Kamal,
Arman Ashkenani. What's wrong with you? And you don't like Arman Ashkenani. You don't like Big Ramy. Is there something going on here?
Is this a Middle Eastern? No.
Oxygen gym. No,
and I do give a little shit to Rowley only for this Arnold Classic for the condition. But I'm really on the Rowley train. I still think he could win the Olympia. I really do. So it's nothing against those guys. It's my own personal preference for physiques, because guys like Derek Lunsford and Dwayne, they're literally right out the gate storming the victories, and they are making an impact. And I do think he'll be top 5 at the Olympia this year. I absolutely see that, because I messaged him after the Olympia last year, and he was like, "Oh, I'm really disappointed." And then he was Dwayne. Yeah. He messaged me.
He said he was depressed.
He said, "What sort of feedback can you get?" And I says, "You look fantastic, mate." I said, "Your condition was good." I said, "Maybe you could work on a bit of back width and try and get a bit more taper, but that will just come from..."
You look so good on stage, so freaky and round.
I said, "Just keep doing what you're doing, mate." I said, "You built this physique like overnight, so just keep doing what you're doing, keep working hard." And he trains like an animal.
Oh, super strong.
Have you seen? I mean, I put him in Must News Weekly. I put a clip of him training. He was squatting, and it was right down. It was like 5, 6, 7 plates. I mean, this guy is a workhorse. He works hard, and he's and I like the way he's kind of changing his attitude, because he tried something last year with the trolling, what you want to call it, whatever, the launches at Derek.
He was coached into saying that.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah.
Huh? Because he was coached.
Yeah. I was there, and I was like, what is he doing? But
so who do you think coached him, Giles?
I don't know.
Bob Chick?
No, it wasn't Bob. No, but at the end of the day, it's like you said, the Olympia is a multi-million-dollar thing, and the thing is, one minute the guys are being accused of being too boring, then they're being accused of being too doing stuff like that. And
well, all that's in the past. He's got his own supplement store, supplement line.
King's Wrath, yeah.
Already made more money in 5 months than he did his regular job. That must be because it's very hard going from your regular job doing something new.
Yes.
So it's very angry. You get like you did with the show.
Yeah. Getting things like this up and running. Yeah.
It's nice seeing him that it's working out.
Yeah, fantastic. No, big thank you. I just want to give a little quick update because, like I said, the reason I asked him, the reason I asked Sibusiso, the reason I asked on Derek is because I do believe these are the guys that we know are moving up. They're the future. They're the superstars of the future.
So Dwayne Q doing the New York Pro for his mother. That's
Yeah, no, that's I message him quite frequently, so I'll be checking in with him, make sure his I'll get some updates on how his mum's doing and how he's doing with his prep, and I'll maybe we'll get him on again after the New York Pro, especially if he wins it. That'd be great. And just really excited to see how he progresses because he's a rising star.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, that is the conclusion of episode 12 of our. Yes, it is the conclusion.
Yes, it is.
Is this? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Episode 12. So thank you for watching, and we will see you back next week here at the Pump Media Studios with my producer, Chris Clark, and my epic co-host, AJ. We'll see you next week for episode 13 of Global Muscle Radio.
He's hyped.
See you soon. And we're out.
And we out.
Yeah.
Way out.
Yeah, buddy.